Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Galbraith with a 1-2 as this one's lifted into left center field. Going back as a center fielder. This one's going to go behind his head and 1 run will score. Running second now is going to be Kevin Donati, and he's going to be running third. Going all the way to second base is now going to be Janowski. He's going to stay put. No throw. And that is a 2 RBI 2-bagger by the second baseman, Brandon Janowski. And the Suns now lead it by a score 6-2.
Now we're going to take you to the birthplace of baseball, Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park.
Here again, the payoff. High fly ball down the left field line. Going back here is Maduri towards the warning track. Gone! Pittsfield Suns tie up the ball game with a clutch 2-run homer by Connor Moriarty.
Now here's your host for Pittsfield Suns baseball, Billy Madewell and Andrew Belargent.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to beautiful Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, as the Pittsfield Suns get ready to take FCBL action against the visiting North Shore Navigators. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for making us a part of your late afternoon and early evening. My name is Billy Madewell. Of course, alongside me, as always, my longtime broadcast partner, Andrew Belargent. Andrew, quite a game yesterday, hoping to ride the momentum are the Suns.
Well, it was not the most impressive of victories yesterday, and even with it, I don't know that the Suns have a ton of momentum to ride off of, but, well, a walk-off win provides pretty much all of that, and a win in general certainly helps them climb the standings.
It certainly does, but we're going to get into that in just a little bit. Before we start our pregame and go to break, we want to remind you all that tonight's broadcast is being brought to you by Cranwell Spa and Golf Resort, the Berkshire's all-season premier resort. Call 413-637-1364 to book your golf, spa, and or hotel reservation today. So again, the Pittsfield Suns are going to be taking on the North Shore Navigators for tonight's contest. But before we do anything, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Andrew Belargent will have a full pregame report of what's happening around the FCBL and more here on the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network, presented by Cranwell Spa and Golf Resort.
Did you know that every 2 seconds someone in America needs blood? Dr. Phil here, and I'd like to encourage you to donate blood through the American Red Cross. If you've never given before, now's a great time to start. If you've given before, do it again. It only takes about an hour, and your donation could make a life-saving difference. So contact the American Red Cross today. To make an appointment, call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE or visit givelife.org today. Thank you.
Do you suffer from the heartbreak of brain rot, feeling bored, sluggish, listless, not had a new idea in days, using electronic gizmos without a clue why they work? Now there's help. Ham radio, guaranteed to stimulate your corroding neurons and open a whole new world of excitement. To learn more about ham radio, go to helloradio.org.
Side effects of ham radio usage include mental stimulation, desire for education, new career paths, understanding of technology, and cases of addiction have been reported. If you experience any of these symptoms, you're welcome.
Ham radio. It's not your granddaddy's radio anymore.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
The following commercial is sponsored by feedthepig.org, an organization devoted to helping you save money. We will not entice you with messages like
lowest prices in town, dealer approved, certified pre-owned.
Nor will we brag about our
huge selection, enormous variety.
We will offer no contingencies like
see store for details. Legal exclusions apply.
Because we simply want to help you spend smarter and save better. Log on to feedthepig.org. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. With action set to stand within the next 20 or so minutes here at Wacona Park, let's have a look around the rest of the FCBL to see how everyone else is doing. Beginning with the standings. The Martha's Vineyard Sharks experienced a bump recently when they lost their most recent game, but they're still sitting at a comfortable 27-12 right now. They've been atop the totem pole pretty much all season and hold a 2.5-game advantage over the Worcester Bravehearts, who are in second. Bravehearts have won 7 in a row, including 10 of their last 11 games. They have a doubleheader today against the Nashua Silver Knights, who are in the cellar of the FCPL, and well, that could make things quite interesting for today's game. In third place, we have the Bristol Blues at 24-17, 4 games back of the Sharks on a 4-game win streak. In fourth, the Brockton Rockets dropped their most recent game and are no longer quite at 500 at 20-21. Meanwhile, in fifth, after yesterday's victory, are the Pittsfield Suns, extending the distance between themselves and the Navigators and Silver Knights, as the Suns are at 16-22, 3 games up on North Shore, 3.5 up on Nashua. The former sits at 14-26. They're, again, 3 games back up the Suns. The latter is a half game out of the postseason right now and sits at 13-26, a game back in the win column from those North Shore Navigators, which makes today's game all the bigger, especially when you consider the Nashua Silver Knights are currently mired in the middle of a doubleheader with the Worcester Bravehearts. So I'm going to just leap right into today's action in the FCBL. Game 1 of their doubleheader with the Bravehearts. Again, those games 7 innings apiece by FCBL rule. Top of the 6th inning, the Nashua Silver Knights trail Worcester by a score of 2-1 down at Fitton Field. Game 2 slated to be played in about an hour. Meanwhile, other than our game here, the Brockton Rocks will be at the Vineyard Baseball Park taking on the Martha's Vineyard Sharks. Both teams looking to try to rebound from a loss in their most recent game. Now, having a look at what happened yesterday, the Bristol Blues prevailed at home over the North Shore Navigators, defeating them by a score of 6-4. Worcester Bravehearts all over visiting Brockton, throttling the Rocks by a score of 9-1. And of course, your very own Pittsfield Suns walked off the Nashua Silver Knights yesterday, winning it by a score of 1-0. And so on that note, it was not myself, but rather Billy who got to have a sit-down discussion with Suns pitching coach Brandon Shalikis. We have that interview here after a few PSAs here on the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Brought to you by Cranwell Spa Resort and Golf.
Talking to real smokers about quitting. Tell me when you smoke and why you smoke.
Eat, cigarette, kids, cigarette, dinner, another cigarette.
One on my way to lunch, one after lunch.
And another cigarette, and another cigarette.
Have you tried to quit?
Yes. I become angry.
It ain't that easy. You can't just quit cold turkey. I tried.
What would you do different?
Actually having a plan and thinking it through.
You have to relearn how to live your life without a cigarette in your hand.
With the right plan, you can quit smoking. Free at becomeanx.org. X, a new way to think about quitting. Brought to you by X and the Ad Council.
Getting your child home safely.
Tap your views together 3 times.
Is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Right now, for an exclusive sit-down interview, I have the pitching coach for the Pittsfield Suns, Brandon Shalikis. Sheik, how's it going?
Good. How about you?
Doing well. Now, for the Pittsfield Suns, yesterday getting back on the right track after a 4-game losing streak, first game back from the All-Star break. It is a walk-off victory. That's got to be a big boost of momentum. How did you feel yesterday's game went?
I thought for the most part it was a pretty clean game. Obviously, it flew by 2 hours and 10 minutes, I think. Big pitchers duel. Neither team really got anything going. And obviously we were able to cash in there at the end and pull off the walk-off.
Now, with that being said, absolutely phenomenal game by Joey Rogers, probably the start of the season for Rogers. We did see his breaking ball command quite a lot, especially on the corners. But what do you think his strong suit was yesterday?
Yesterday, I think the big thing for him, he battled. He told us before the game he wasn't feeling his best, and even in between innings, we kind of had to check in with him a couple times. So just his ability to work with subpar stuff for him and he was able to give us a strong, I think, 5 or 6 innings.
Yeah, strong 5 innings, which it looks like with you saying that does really factor into why he only won 5 as opposed to the opposing starter. But for the Suns yesterday, just again, the hitting really wasn't going. Do you think it was just a collective bad day for not just both teams, but for the Suns in particular?
I think anytime you have like a 3-day period where you haven't played, everybody's going to be kind of a little off. Timing might be a little off. And neither team really got anything going.
Again, talking with Brandon Chalikas, pitching coach of the Pittsfield Suns. With that being said, Suns right now, they sit at 16-22. Right now, they are not in line for a home playoff game, but they are, again, still in the playoffs, which is hard to do. You have to be the 7th team and worst team in the 17th league, at least for this year. But what are you and the Suns staff looking to do to turn the corner and try to get this team at least over 500?
I mean, just keep playing clean baseball, obviously. Just keep hoping for our starters to give us a chance to win and just battle and find ways to score.
And we talked previously about the power hitting, or in this case for the league this year, a lack thereof. No Eric Hamiltons, no Zach Towers. There's only one man in particular that stands out, and your staff's going to be facing up against him today. Of course, we're talking about Sal Frelick, who is right now in line for the Triple Crown, who is not just a power threat, but a threat in nearly every dimension. What is going to be the game plan going, not just against the North Shore Navigators, but probably the league's MVP in Sal Frelick?
The big thing is making somebody else beat us. Obviously, we're going to pitch him stronger than most guys. We'll be careful with him, especially if he gets a chance with guys on base. Try and not really pitch around totally, but just make sure that we're making good quality pitches and not giving him anything easy to hit.
And with that being said, Brian Johnson on the mound here for tonight's contest. What are we expecting out of him collectively? How long he'll go? What pitches are you going to focus on, etc.?
For him, I expect him to give us the same thing he's been giving us. He's been strong every outing, and I don't see him doing anything different tonight. I think as long as he gives us a good 6-7 innings, we should be in line for a win.
Again, with BJ on the mound, Pittsfield Suns, again, they lost 4 straight before the All-Star break, came back with a walk-off win yesterday. What do the Suns, particularly the team collectively, what do they have to do to ride that momentum off of yesterday's walk-off win to get the victory again for the 2nd straight day against these North Shore Navigators?
I think the big thing today is now that everyone's got their timing back for the most part, expect them to put together some better at-bats, get guys on base, and hopefully we can just cash in and not leave anybody out there, and hopefully, like I said, get another strong pitching performance from BJ.
Brandon Chalikas, Sheik, that is the pitching coach for the Pittsfield Suns. Appreciate your time. Good luck out there and have some fun tonight.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back with the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Home safety is a family effort. Being safe and sound should be everyone's priority. In times like these, theft and violence can strike anywhere. Protect your family. Keep your home well lighted and always lock doors and windows. Installing alarms adds an extra level of protection. Never leave valuables in plain sight. To learn more about protecting your home and family, visit ncpc.org or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Did you know that every 2 seconds someone in America needs blood? Dr. Phil here, and I'd like to encourage you to donate blood through the American Red Cross. If you've never given before, now's a great time to start. If you've given before, do it again. It only takes about an hour, and your donation could make a life-saving difference. So contact the American Red Cross today. To make an appointment, call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE or visit givelife.org today. Thank you.
Are you prepared in the event of a disaster? I'm Jim Cantori, reminding you that the best way to make your family safer is to be prepared before disaster strikes. First, build a disaster supply kit with enough supplies for each family member for at least 3 days. Next, make a family communication or evacuation plan. Finally, stay informed. Listen to local radio and TV reports when disasters are imminent. For more information on how you can be Red Cross ready, Contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit redcross.org.
Hi, we're talking to real smokers about quitting. Tell me when you smoke and why you smoke.
Eat, cigarette, kids, cigarette, dinner, another cigarette.
One on my way to lunch, one after lunch.
And another cigarette, and another cigarette.
Have you tried to quit?
Yes. I become angry.
It ain't that easy. You can't just quit cold turkey. I tried.
What would you do different?
Actually having a plan and thinking it through.
You have to relearn how to live your life without a cigarette in your hand.
With the right plan, you can quit smoking. Free at becomeanx.org. X, a new way to think about quitting. Brought to you by X and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns at Baseball Network. And now, with everything having been said and done, it's time to have a look at lineups for the visiting North Shore Navigators. Going to be getting eyed on quite a bit tonight for the Navigators, leading off the shortstop number 9, Sal Freelich. Hitting second, the center fielder number 10, Jeff Mejia. Third goes to the third baseman, Elias Barinos, with Joe Murphy, the second baseman, hitting cleanup. The catcher, number 44, Dominic Keegan, will bat fifth, with Harrison Engstrom DHing and batting sixth. George Sutherland, the right fielder, will hack seventh, along with Andrew Olzak batting eighth and residing in the left. And the picture is completed with the first baseman, number 32, Mitch Lundholm. And looking at who the Suns will place on the mound, well, that would look to be Brian Johnson, a starter, appearing in 6 games, all starts so far for the Suns. Pitching 31 2/3, giving up 27 hits, 15 runs, 12 earned, walking 19 to 26 strikeouts, a loaded 2-3 record, along with a pretty solid 3.41 ERA. And with that, time to have a look at the bats who'll be backing Brian Johnson up on the Pittsfield Suns. For the home half, we have leading off the left fielder, number 6, Alexander White. The shortstop and occasionally pitcher, number 30, Thomas Hughes, will bat second. Patrick Sullivan getting the night off from fielding, but he will still remain in the lineup as a DH, batting third. Hitting cleanup tonight is the center fielder, number 20, Dave Matthews. The all-star second baseman, number 39, Ivan Nunez, will rake fifth. Peter Marin, the first baseman, will bat sixth, with Jack Kalumovic batting seventh and residing in third. Taylor Mier will be behind the plate, batting eighth. And the order is finished off by right fielder number 2, Kyle Cronk. And they will go to work against the hurler number 37, Zach Begin. And looking at him on the season for the North Shore Navigators. Not a team that has had a great reputation this year for pitching, but, well, for Begin himself, he's had a pretty solid year. 10 appearances, 2 starts, 28 2/3 gone with 27 hits, giving up 13 runs to 12 earned. Walked 14 to 24 strikeouts, a solid ratio. In addition to having 1 save, also has a good but not great 3.76 ERA. And so, with everything having been said and done, we've got about 10 minutes, give or take, to game action. And on that note, we need our play-by-play broadcaster. So for that, I will bring in our play-by-play broadcaster, Billy Madewell.
Thank you again, Andrew, for your insight of what's happening around the league. And I think it's time that we do have time, that we bolster our horizon for what's happening not just around this league, but also the MLB. I know there is quite a few games happening, especially with all the trades and whatnot that are going around the league. But at least for the scores, what do we have going on?
Well, in terms of scores, 1 game finalized. The Cardinals all over the Cubs, 18-5. The Cubs had to put 3 position players into pitch. Things got that bad for their actual pitching core. And Matt Carpenter for the Cardinals going 5 for 5 with 3 homers. What a day. Great day for the Cardinals, not so much for the Cubs in Wrigley Field. We actually don't have any live action right now, but later tonight we have the Indians visiting the Texas Rangers, the Atlanta Braves at our nation's capital for a meeting with the Nationals. The Subway Series played between the Mets and the Yankees, in addition to the San Diego Padres in Philadelphia meeting the Phillies. An AL East rivalry game between the Baltimore Orioles and Toronto Blue Jays. Not the most tense version of their rivalry, but nonetheless, they will play tonight. Boston Red Sox in action at Comerica Field tonight against the Detroit Tigers. The Pittsburgh Pirates are in Cincinnati taking on the Cincinnati Reds, with the Miami Marlins taking on the Tampa Bay Rays at Tampa Bay. And our last action of the day, Manny Machado set to see his Dodgers debut today as they visit the Milwaukee Brewers.
And with Machado, he's going to be moving from his native third base to now more or less going to be a more permanent spot at short.
But he's also set to see some time at third, Billy, because they're their typical third baseman, Chris Taylor, is a utility infielder who can play pretty much anywhere. And when you consider Justin Turner, the first baseman, he's not exactly a rookie per se at the age of 34, so they might want to give him a bit of a rest, moving Taylor over to first base to cover for him then. And then, they would probably put Machado at third for those games. But yes, Billy, it seems as though Machado will receive the majority of his games with the Dodgers as a shortstop.
Yeah, the majority of his share at short, but the way you just described that, the only thing I could imagine was Bugs Bunny pitching, catching, and then also collecting the ball in the outfield in the same play. For how you describe that of where everyone's going to ping pong around for utility, which also reminds me of today's game because the shortstop number 9, Self-Relic, he is going to be going pretty much in a rotation method of really almost every and all positions going. He's going to start at short. He's going to growl in the outfield as well, more or less going to see also second and third. We'll certainly see. There's no official word yet. But official word, we're going to take some time away here as we get ready for tonight's contest. The official word is not only was there a big-time trade in the MLB, but in the NBA, and it just became finalized. With that, of course, being Kawhi Leonard going to Toronto with Danny Green, and then going from Toronto in a not-so-popular move for new Canadian basketball fans. You have DeMar DeRozan and a protected pick.
Protected pick and two young players who will probably not see a ton of playing time, but are
G League more than likely.
Yes, but they're part of the trade. Why not mention them? Yeah, Billy, what do you think about the deal? Yes, I know. I'm not a fan.
It's ugly in every sense, really.
Yes.
Bad PR for both. Especially you look at the GM who said, I apologize to DeMar DeRozan for, saying that it wouldn't trade him, but I apologize for the miscommunication. Just own up to it. But it's a PR move, understandable, yada, yada.
Yeah, you can never be wrong. No.
And there's rumblings and rumors that Kawhi Leonard won't even play for Toronto. He won't even report.
Not anymore. That's going to go back and forth, but it doesn't. I would say that's far from a guarantee.
It is because you then void his contract and then void the trade if necessary.
Oh, boy, that would be fun.
Yeah, and he would get a fine, of course. But this is probably one of the, I don't want to say the worst PR blockbuster trades I've seen, because you look at trades like really Shaquille O'Neal, Dwight Howard, a bunch. There's always a bunch that are always going to have bad PR and leave a bad taste in your mouth to begin with.
They don't come close.
Again, it's just an appetizer. We've yet to even see the main course. That's really all it is. We've seen what it looks like right now, but we haven't even put the pretty much the metaphorical spoon into the bowl.
No, I don't suppose we have, but it definitely can't be good.
Right now, there is a meeting at home plate, and I want to let everyone know right now for the managers meeting, you have at home play right now in the left-handed batter's box. That is Todd Elford. He's the head coach for the North Shore Navigators. In the right-handed batter's box, you have Pittsfield Sun skipper Matt Gedman. Behind the plate for tonight's contest, making his first appearance here at Wacona Park, will be Brian Berry. And then behind the bases, or I should say on the bases, really, for the officiating will be veteran Anthony Inzero. And for Anthony Inzero, again, a veteran officiator here in the FCBL. And Andrew, the good news is I don't think we're going to have a debacle like yesterday.
No, we will have a sun delay, and that's, pretty firm at this point. Not going to bet my house on it this time, but, I would at least set down a fair wager that if the sun, is warranting a delay, that we will receive a delay.
Now, with that being said, Andrew, what are your thoughts for tonight's contest? What do the Suns have to do against Beacon and the North Shore Navigators defense as well as offense?
How about work the count? Mount base runners, do something. Don't, if your team is getting set down a lot, like if he goes on a roll, like puts down 3, 4, 5 guys in a row, the sixth guy or whoever is up next, maybe take a pitch, take a couple pitches. Don't just become another one pitch, one out, because that generates a lot of momentum for the guy on the mound. And we saw that yesterday. Really no offense going either way, and it almost looked like both sides got a little bit frustrated. Like, I know that Branch League has talked a lot about Like, guys aren't getting down their timing because they're a few days off and whatnot. But I don't, like, I'm certainly not going to suggest that I think he's wrong or that I think he's lying or anything like that. But I think that he kind of overestimated how much that actually impacted the game yesterday. And I would really like to see guys maybe try to work deeper counts, try to mount more base runners, maybe not try to swing for the fences all the time.
And again, just the hitting. They shook off the rust yesterday with a walk-off win, really looking to ride the momentum. But the Suns, again, trying to climb the totem pole, trying to get a home playoff game. As we are going to listen to On the Field and get the live lineups for your Pittsfield Suns. You've been listening to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network, presented by Cranwell Spa and Golf Resort. Well, it looks like we're not going to go just quite yet and listen in. But, Andrew, you had some interesting news, of course, what happened with the Cleveland Indians as well as the San Diego Padres.
Well, of course, everyone's talking about that Manny Machado trade, and for good reason. Obvious star power going to the Dodgers, who were heavily expected to make a good playoff run this year after coming so close to winning the World Series last year. So everyone's talking about that, but what everyone isn't talking about, that's also a humongous deal, is that the Padres traded relievers Adam Simber and closer Brad Hand to the Cleveland Indians in exchange for top prospect and 15th best prospect in all of the majors, Francisco Mejia.
And with that, the managers' meeting concludes, and that's going to bolster the Dodgers tremendously. It's really the Dodgers really as the big team coming out of the National League, but the American League is stacked. You have the Yankees, you have the Red Sox, you have Cleveland, which is trying to get up there as well. More or less the underdog, but you also have another big team, of course, and the defending World Series champion, the Houston Astros.
And now that they've acquired Brad Hand, I actually do kind of take the Indians seriously to make a notable push this year. I really didn't do that before the Brad Hand trade, though.
With that, again, it's very, very close with all five of those teams.
I think I still favor Boston at this point.
I can't blame you. How many games over 500 are they?
38.
I was about to say close to 40.
Yes.
Yankees right on their coattails, but they're about 4.5 games back. Four even. Oh, 4.5. Excuse me. So with that being said, and I can't wait for this. The postseason is going to be big, and I'm desperately hoping for a Yankees-Red Sox postseason in any round. Can't wait to see that. That rivalry is always huge, Andrew.
I think it now this year it's actually legitimate because both teams are really, really good, but I feel like to some extent it can get overrated at times.
That's true, considering the history. All right, let's listen in.
In left field, along with baseball buddies, Owen Kaminsky, Jackson Carhart, Zach Berry, and Alex Martin. For Eastern Connecticut State University, number 6, Alex White. At shortstop, for Jackson Briard, Jason Sibley, Michael W. Leland Sauce Barnes. From the University of Oklahoma, number 30, Thomas Hughes. And designated hitter with Jamie Reaper, Griffin St. John, Hunter Allen, and Joseph Eagleson. From the University of Georgia, number 38, Patrick Somerville. And center field with baseball buddies Michael Paredes, Jackson Karinsky, Cooper Reed, and Mackenzie Moody. From Pennsylvania State University, number 20, Dave Matthews. At second base, with Bill Arrow, Grayson Cote, and Brendan Bergman. From Southeastern University, number 39, Ivan Nunez. At first base, with Jameson Gray, and Aiden Arsenal. From Bucknell University, number 21, Peter Aaron. And at third base, with Spencer Hayes and Abraham Hayes. From the College of Charleston, number 1, Jack Colombian. From Hunter, number 43, from St. Christopher, number 16, Taylor Pierre. Right field, with Matthew Monroe. From the University of Pennsylvania, number 2, Kyle Cross. And next starting pitcher, with Paul Pilfer, from Springfield College, number 10, Brian Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, ready to watch these guys and give your effects on the honor of the Here to sing tonight's anthem, please welcome Christina Rieker.
What's so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose brushless and bright stars through the perilous sky, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the mufflers singing air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
With the national anthem being sung, ladies and gentlemen, that means one thing. We're almost set for some Pittsfield Suns baseball. One more time with the visiting North Shore Navigator lineup. Here's Andrew.
Leading off South Free League, Jeff Mejia batting second. Elias Farinos hits third, with Joe Murphy being cleanup. Dominic Keegan bats fifth. Harry Sangstrom going sixth. George Sutherland will bat up seventh, with Andrew Olzak hitting eighth. The orders finish off by Mitchell Lundholm, and they will go to work against Brian Johnson.
Johnson going to be hurling to his backstop catcher, the All-Star Mier. From third to first, you have Kalumovic, Hughes, Nunez, and Marin. And from left to right, continuing the defensive alignment, White, Matthews, Kronk. Outfield dimensions here at Paul Outfield at Wacona Park come as follows. 310 feet down the left field line, 377 in straightaway left. 374, that's led in by 3 feet in dead center field. 403, that is the deepest part of the ballpark in the power alley. And right center field. Down the right field line, it goes to 305. The Pittsfield Suns coming out in their alternative home black uniforms, a lighter mesh style with a white Pittsfield embroidered with yellow on the front, numbers on the back in the same style. Red numbers on the left abdomen of the front. White pants with a black and yellow trim down the sides. Black cap, black brim with the Suns P logo as a cap insignia. And for the visiting North Shore Navigators, they're going to come in their road blue uniforms with black sleeves and white lining. White Navigators and the black outline on the front. Last names and numbers on the back also in white. White pants, blue cap, blue brim with the, a black brim with the North Shore Navigator logo. Sitting as the captain signal. So, again, BJ on the mound here for the Suns. Going to be taking on the North Shore Navigators, looking for their second straight victory in their second game following the All-Star break. There's only about 2 weeks left of baseball.
Big game for both teams here, really. The Navigators just half game up on the pursuing Nashville Silver Knights, who are really trying to get back into the postseason after winning the FCBL last year. It's a big game for the Navigators because if the Nashville Silver Knights win just one of their games with the Bravehearts, if the Navigators were to lose to today's game, guess who falls out of the playoff picture?
That's
the Navigators.
Very true. So it'll be the shortstop, number 9, Sel Freelick, digging in as Johnson tries to get the first sign, and he does now have play ball being told to him by Brian Barry, the umpire, and the first pitch of tonight's contest runs low and in for a game time start of 6:38 p.m. Count is 1-0.
Freelick going to be looked at a lot today as he leads the team in hitting at .366 for an average, 4 doubles with 2 triples, 7 homers, driven in 34 runs, which is actually more than the next 2 men on this roster put together. He's walked 14 times to 12 strikeouts. Another big number, he's also swiped 13 bags, so this guy can hurt you in loads of different ways.
The lefty Johnson now with a 3-0, and that one does catch in there for a called strike. Count here is now 3-1.
This guy really is something special, Billy.
Yeah, not a lot of power hitters here this season in the FCBL, but Freelick truly shining as this one. He's going to walk on 5 pitches. As a pitch right in, bring up the center fielder, number 10, Jeff Mejia.
Again, look out for Freelick, 13 for 14 and swipe bags this year. You know he's going to give it a shot at some point. But looking at Mejia, not so successful this year as he has a little bit less than half of Freelick's batting average at 167. He also has just 3 RBI to go with 15 walks to 28 strikeouts.
Excuse me, the last names on the back are not the last names. That is actually Lynn, the town where the North Shore Navigators play. This one is low and away, gets past the catcher, but not taking off his Freelick. Questionable call.
May have just fallen asleep at the bag, possibly.
I just don't think he read it well because Mier looked like he would have had it, and then he didn't. So the count is 1-0 as Johnson struggling to find the strike zone only once thus far.
See Freelick dancing out there over at the bag.
Pitch. That one looks like just misses the lower outside corner. Very close, but now it's 2-0. Time is called.
And on that last one, you could, looking at Sal Freelick, when the pitch was being thrown, he kind of lunged back to the bag for some reason. You could argue like, oh, he might have been expecting, a throw on to first or something, but this was around the point when Brian Johnson was about to release and Freelick kind of lunged back at the bag. Maybe he could have slipped or something out there.
Count is 2-0. Nobody gone. Just getting underway between the North Shore Navigators and the Pittsfield Suns. Freelick with a short lead and the 2-0. That one's in there. A called strike. Count here now. 2 balls, 1 strike. Again, the home plate umpire, Brian Barry, calling balls and strikes. Anthony Inzero calling safer out.
And Freelick kind of has ants in his pants out there. He's kind of just like shaking himself. It's kind of funny to watch.
The runner does go. The pitch. It takes off the glove of Mier.
Oh. Well, Freelick got a wonderful lead. Like, he actually was off and running around when, really before Brian Johnson even threw the ball. So even if that didn't mysteriously take off Mier's entire glove, I'm pretty sure Freelick was going to easily get on to second. Looks like Mier's glove is okay, though.
The count is 3-1 as Johnson now has a runner in scoring position at second, that being Freelick. The pitch is in there for a called strike. Now it's full 3-2.
Look at Freelick moving out that bag, though. It's kind of like he's on stilts right now. Like he's kind of wobbling, and it's kind of funny to watch.
Getting the sign here is Johnson, who sets from the stretch. Takes a peek over at Freelick at second, and now the payoff. That's when a high fly ball foul going third base side, and we'll go again from 3-2. Mier, the all-star catcher, is one of the best defensive catchers in the league.
And that was largely how he got to the All-Star game to begin with. He doesn't have overwhelmingly amazing batting numbers, but as an actual catcher itself, he's had a really solid season.
With that being said, the stolen base given up, his glove just fell off. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, right.
Here's a payoff. That one runs high.
If anything, I guess we might blame how he applied the glove to his hand, but of course, as a fielder, for lack of a better way of putting it, stuff happens. It's whatever.
The PG version, that is.
Yes.
This will bring up. Excuse me. So another walk. This will bring up the third baseman, number 2, Elias Varinos.
Varinos, a .277 hitter, driven in 12 runs, 8 walks to 25 strikeouts on the year. Notably grounded into 5 double plays this year, and with a runner on first, we do have to consider that.
Also with a runner on second, as the pitch is in there for a called strike, 0-1 here to Varinos.
Yes, Billy, I'm noticing Lynn on the back of all of their jerseys.
Paying homage to the city that they play out of with Frazier Field there.
It makes enough sense, I suppose.
Great ballpark as well.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
And now a pickoff motion back towards second. Just a motion, that is. Varinos awaits the sign as Johnson sets. They'll check on second. And the pitch. Curveball. It's fouled off of the mask there of Mier, who got knocked backwards. Hopefully he's okay. He's going to take some time, take off his mask, as both the catcher and umpire are going out to chat. But, that one's got to sting.
Yeah, just give him a moment. Looks like he's going to be okay. That's, of course, that's literally why we wear helmets in sports. So it seems like he's going to be okay. But reasonably, just taking a minute to walk it off. The ball hit him decently hard, albeit in the helmet, but still.
Yeah, they hit him square in the mask. It looks like he's all right. We're going to resume play. Again, no balls, 2 strikes, nobody gone. Runners on first and second. 2 walks and a stolen base thus far. So Freelick on second, Mejia on first. Just getting underway here in Pittsfield. Johnson will set. He'll check second and the 0-2. Swung on foul back. And we'll go again at 0-2. Johnson getting the sign. Here's the pitch. This one lifted out towards center. Shallow center. Coming in as Matthews, and this one's going to drop. A throw to second, but it's not going to be in time. No one can get there. And that one's going to go down as a single. And now the bases are loaded with nobody gone to begin the contest.
Good old Bermuda Triangle. Ball's right in the middle of the defense. No one can get to it. Thankfully, no runs score for the Suns, as it was not hit anywhere near deep enough to do so. But bases loaded with none away. Navigators are off to a fantastic start in this game.
So now this will bring up the second baseman, number 1, Joey Murphy.
Well, why do you have cleanup hitters for situations like this? Looking at Joey Murphy, he's played the role in every sense imaginable with a .320 average, 11 RBI, looking to increase that total by at least 1 or 2 here, with 11 walks to 19 strikeouts.
First pitch was in there for a called strike to Murphy, as Johnson working in a big jam here. The 0-1. That one's flared foul first base side. And now, not that you're going to be comfortable with the bases loaded, but the most comfortable you'll be with nobody gone and the bases loaded. That being an 0-2 count.
Be huge if Brian Johnson can find just one more pitch in the zone to get him down.
For the Suns, they are set at double play depth. A hard hit ball they will throw home. If it is not, they're going to try to turn to double play. And trade 2 for 1 as this one is towards third. It is fair. Throw home is in time, and a smart play by Kalumovic.
There you go. That one, well, they don't strike him out, of course, but they really essentially almost do the same exact thing with the situation now being the base loaded and 1 away. Great throw on at home. Clearly no chance of a double play, so you're going to get the guy out at first. Of course you're not. You're going to keep their runs off the board and essentially Do the same exact thing with the outs total, throwing on to home.
That'll be a fielder's choice, and now Murphy replaces Marinos, who replaces Mejia, who replaced Freelick. This will bring up the catcher number 44, Dominic Keegan, as Johnson getting the sign. BJ now has it, the wind and the deal. Beautiful curveball action there from Johnson. The count is 0-1.
Keegan, a .245 hitter, driven in 10 runs, walked 7 times and 19 strikeouts. He notably has 4 sacrifice flies in the season, most in the team, and well, that would be pretty nice for the Navigators to get about right now.
The 0-1 does hit at the lower inside corner, a generous call. Keegan's asking where it was. The count is 0-2 now. Johnson, again, still in the jam, but right now with the bases loaded, he's working well with fire here. Johnson with the windup in the 0-2. Curveball, foul, third base side. Good snare there by Todd Alford in the third base coach's area.
I suppose we'll have to see how the rest of the inning unfolds, but it's worth wondering, of course you would rather have the bases empty than loaded, but you wonder, with the bases loaded and this mentality of, if I mess up one more time, that's a run, you wonder if that mentality causes you to be a lot stricter and by association more efficient with your pitches.
Here's a windup, and the 0-2 again. Cut out and miss for strike 3. Now 2 men gone, and now a throw at any base or home plate will be it in the inning. Bring up the DH number 20, Harrison Engstrom.
Engstrom, not the best season so far, a .216 hitter, driven in 10 runs. The Navigators desperately want him to increase that total. However, 8 walks to 28 strikeouts suggests that he is somewhat of a free swinger, and with a .216 average, his free swinging has not generated the best of results.
The pitch, swinging at this one, speaking of free, as that one is fouled off, and now the count is 0-1.
Wow, that was a very bad pitch to swing at. That thing well high, would have easily been a ball 1 if he had taken it. In fact, I'm more surprised he didn't pop that one out and end the inning on a pop out. So bad swing, but he almost kind of gets lucky with it.
It'll be an 0-1 count. BJ has the sign. The lefty fires. Curveball in a beauty. Swung on and missed, and he does it again. Again, Johnson has a fastball that touches 90, a 2-seamer, slider, and changeup. Curveball, excuse me.
Pulling the string on that one. That one beautiful.
So it's a 0-2 count. 2 men gone. Here's the pitch. Curve, and he strikes them out. That is how you do it. First, you give up 3 basemen and load the bases. Then you get the next 3 batters out, 1, 2, 3.
Without allowing any runs. Very impressive.
With the bases loaded and nobody gone, it's dire situation, and normally there's a run to be scored, but Johnson has other plans. No runs off of only 1 hit, no errors, and the bases are left loaded here in the top of the first. No score between the North Shore Navigators and the Pittsfield Suns. We're going to keep it here and give you the starting lineup on the offensive side for your Pittsfield Suns.
Leading off, Alexander White. Hitting second, Thomas Hughes, with Patrick Sullivan, the All-Star, hacking third. Dave Matthews is cleanup. Also, the All-Star, Ivan Nunez, will hit 5th. Peter Marin will bat 6th. Jack Klimovic collecting the start, batting 7th. Helen Mier will bat 8th, and the order is finished off by Kyle Cronk, and they will go to work against Zach Begin.
So Begin going to be hurling to Keegan. Go figure on the rhyme scale.
There you go.
Marinos, Freelick, Murphy, Lundholm from third to first, and from left to right, Olzak, Mejia, and Sutherland. So that being said, Suns, they are right now having all the momentum from yesterday and all the momentum here thus far. That being said, they're going to bring up White, Hughes, and Sullivan to start off their home half of the offense. Left fielder number 6, Alexander White, will dig in first, who really is an underrated outfielder who can rob you of any sort of base hit, and rob you of any foul, and also be a big threat on the bases.
And annihilate any wall that he happens to come into contact with.
Very true.
In addition, White, a .3278 average with a homer, 6 RBI to 19 walks, 21 strikeouts, as well.
So Begin with a kick and deal. This one well outside. Count starts off 1-0 here for the home half of the Suns in the bottom of the first. No score between the Navigators and the Suns.
Deegan kind of having to grit his teeth as he sees his team blow a bases loaded, no outs opportunity and not score anything. And he kind of thinks like, hey, I wish I had a run of support or two here after having a setup like that. But unfortunately, he works on a 0-0 score right now.
It'll be a 2-0 count and the pitch. That one's in there for a call strike. White waiting on it. And now it'll be a 2-1 count here to the left fielder. With the XL Began with a high kick and the 2-1. This one a grounder headed to short. Freelick going to glove this one. Throws over to first in time. Close play at first, but just by a half step. He's able to grab him.
Yeah, not the best of throws, but a great grab over there at first. Prevents that from being an E6, which on a day where there are scouts looking at him, that would have been not a great way to begin the ball game.
So bring up the shortstop, number 30, Thomas Hughes, the two-way player.
Two-way player, but struggling one of those ways is he's hitting just 200 on the year with a homer, 9 RBI to 9 walks with 8 strikeouts.
Pitch is in there for a call strike. 0-1 here to Thomas Hughes.
I don't think before the season, Billy, we could have predicted that Hughes would be having a much better season as a pitcher than a batter.
I can completely concur as this one is high and away. Our count here is 1-1. Here is the 1-1. Big kind of miss there from Hughes. A late break on that one from Began, and a fantastic pitch at that. Makes it 1-2. Here's the windup and the 1-2 from Began. This one runs in, but it does hit the inside corner at the last minute again. Pretty much a cut fastball. Hughes doesn't like the call on a generous call, and that will be strike number 3 and first strikeout in the ballgame for Began. Bring up the DH number 38 from left-hand side, all-star Patrick Sullivan.
Just a little under 300 at the moment. Sullivan is hitting 296, a triple and a homer, 10 ribbies with 20 strikeouts, or 20 walks to 15 strikeouts. Solid overall season for Sullivan as he was named to the All-Star game.
Pitch. That one runs low, but it's called a strike. Count here is 0-1. Next pitch runs outside. Now the count here is 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2-man gone to Sullivan, and the pitch does hit the lower outside corner. Great location here thus far here from Began, and the count is now 1-2.
Really painting the blank in the early going with some wonderful movement pitches as well.
Here's the 1-2 from Began. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. A fantastic inning for Began on the location factor, as there is a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We head now through 1 full inning of play to the top of the second. No score between the Pittsfield Suns and the North Shore Navigators. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network, presented by Cranwell Spa and Golf Resort.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
We head to the top of the second, and 2 extremely great factors for the pitching. A slow start for Brian Johnson in the first. Having the bases loaded with nobody gone, he retires the next 3, allowing no runs. And then for Zach Began, a 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts.
Impressive damage control. You just hope that he doesn't have to do any more of that moving forward. You hope he can kind of settle in and continue the rhythm.
Especially with both pitchers with a couple strikeouts in the first, both looking for Began, both swinging for Johnson. This brings up the right fielder, number 5. Number 7 batter, George Sutherland. The 7, 8, 9 batters due up this inning. As this one, that one ran up and got a piece there. If not the whole thing of Sutherland, he's going to take some time here.
Yikes.
To head over to first. That one slipped right out of the hands there of Johnson. You can see the reaction. That'll be a hit by pitch for Sutherland. He's going to take some time to recover here.
Well, prior to all of that, and I guess most of these stats will remain the same, Sutherland had been hitting .266, a triple with 13 RBI, 12 walks with 21 strikeouts. I guess you can look out for him on the base paths now, as he has stolen 6 times, but he also has been caught 6 times as well. So 6 for 12 line. Far from perfect, but that does show he is willing to try.
Here's the left fielder, number 15, Andrew Olzak, as the first pitches in there are called strike 0-1.
Olzak with a murky start to the year at 2.02, as he's played in 28 games, for the Navigators so far. A triple with 9 RBI, walking 8 times to 23 strikeouts.
A pickoff throw back over towards first, back in safely. So again, the left fielder, number 15, Andrew Olzak, currently here. Going to be digging in. Only saw one pitch thus far, and it was called strike. And this one, a slow curve over to Kalumovic. This could be 2. A throw over to second for 1. Over to first in time.
Perfect from Kalumovic on that one. He kind of rushes forward to the ball, then is at the same time running towards the second base bag. He has momentum to his throw, which makes the throw onto second all the easier. And by association, the throw onto first is all the easier as well. Double them down.
Count it down from 5, 4, 3, 2 for 1 on the double play. Brings up the first baseman, number 32, Mitchell Lundholm. Batting from the left-hand side. Here is the pitch from Johnson in a lefty versus lefty matchup. It is not called a strike, as this one apparently rolled outside. Count is 1-0.
Lundholm having just a miserable year at the plate so far. Just a 138 hitter. Hasn't driven in any runs this year with 1 walk to 9 strikeouts.
Next pitch was in there for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the windup and the kicking deal. This one, a check swing in the dirt. Good way to hold that one off. There was Lundholm. Now 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 men gone. Top of the second. No score between the North Shore Navigators and the Pittsfield Suns in FCBL action here on July 20th. 2-1 is snared towards Kalumovic again. Nice backhand snare, sliding throw to first, and he's had an absolutely tremendous inning defensively.
Definitely.
So that will do it as Kalumovic essentially retires the side on a 5-4-3 double play and then a 5-3 put out. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. A 1-2-3 inning. We head now to the bottom of the second with no score between the North Shore Navigators and the Pittsfield Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network, presented by Cranwell Spa and Golf Resort.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
What?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
To the bottom of the second, and it will be the cleanup hitter leading off. The center fielder, number 20, Dave Matthews, in the bottom of the second between the North Shore Navigators and the Pittsfield Suns.
Dave Matthews hitting .253 right now, 3 homers lead to the team with 17 RBI being up there in second place right now. Another number up there, 30 strikeouts tied with Chad Shade for the team lead.
A check swing. No swing that's rolled. As that one was low, so the count here is 1-0 to number 20, Dave Matthews.
You know, Billy, anytime we talk about a check, I'll talk about it after this pitch.
Pitch, that one's in there. Called strike, go ahead.
Anytime, after you showed me that video earlier today, anytime a check swing happens, I'm never going to forget that.
We're talking about a league out in Mexico, as here's the 1-1. That one is low in the dirt. The batter fully swung like a regular swing. The catcher was about to throw to the pitcher, but he was like, hey, he swung at it. The home plate umpire appealed. We're not done. Here's the 2-1. Pitch.
Ooh.
That one a generous call. This one was 3 inches outside, but it's ruled a called strike. Count now is 2-2. The appeal in this game went over to the first base umpire. He said no. A full swing, and it's ruled a ball. Go figure. This one is fouled off and will remain at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Absolutely amazing.
What are you talking about, Billy? That was a ball.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. Okay,
that is the epitome of the worst call in the history of professional, amateur, and adolescent sports. The 2-2 is cut on and missed for strike 3. So 3 strikeouts in a row here for Began. Sending back to the last inning. Brings up the second baseman, all-star third baseman, number 39, Ivan Nunez.
And I think you'll agree with me, Billy. We've seen some interesting officiating this year. I'll just say interesting for the moment being interesting, but I don't think we've ever seen that. And hopefully, we never will.
No. For anyone that does not roll a full swing, a strike, they need to reevaluate what they're doing in life. Here's a pitch. That one runs low and away for a ball count here, 1-0.
Looking at Nunez, leading the team in batting by 1 point at .323. A couple homers with 18 RBI, 16 walks to 8 strikeouts. All of it good enough.
This one a hot shot in the center. We'll get back to that in a minute. It goes past the center fielder, and that one's going to drop all the way to the wall. The center fielder cannot corral it. He's going to round second here and hold up at second with a 1-out double by Ivan Nunez.
I was about to say, of course, Nunez, all those stats good enough to get into the All-Star game and continues his surge there with a rocket shot of a double finally allowing the Suns to get a base runner of some sort.
Yeah, as opposed to yesterday, 9 total hits for both teams between the Nashua Silver Knights and the Pittsfield Suns. They had 6, the Suns. Also had 2 errors for the Nashua Silver Knights. So pretty dominant pitching yesterday.
Indeed.
So here's the first baseman, number 21, Peter Marin. He will take in as the pitch is fouled back, 0-1.
Well, Peter Marin recognizing that Ivan Nunez's lead for leading the team in batting average has extended after that double, as Marin was the man who is only 1 point behind Nunez at .322. 3 RBI with 2 walks to 12 strikeouts in the season, though, indicates that Nunez has him pretty thoroughly beat in every other area.
Here is the 0-1. This one's Snyder between third and short. Grabbing this one's Freelick. Jump throw over to first, and it's in time. A throw over to second is not.
The throw itself wasn't perfect as it did skip over to the first baseman, but that there was a throw in itself. Impressive athletic play from Freelick to get him out. It looked like Marin had the infield single all the way on that one, but Freelick denying him with a beautiful throw. And, well, that's why there are scouts here to see this guy. And they just got a little bit of something to go off of.
Exactly. A little bit of extra flair there. And now this will be the third baseman, number 1, Jack Kolumovic. Great day defensively thus far, and it's only the bottom of the second. As here's the pitch. This one snared in between third and short. Third baseman will glove. Throw over to first is in time by a quarter step. It was a bang-bang play, and he is ruled out. So that will end the inning on the 5-3 put out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left. We head now to the top of the third with no score between the North Shore Navigators and the Pittsfield Suns, as you're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network, presented by Cranwell Spa and Golf Resort.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries, protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America.
Were you born ready to protect America? Learn more at gocoastguard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association and this station.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey.
What?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Billy Madewell, Andrew Belargin, Paul Outfield at Wacona Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. No score here between the North Shore Navigators and the Pittsfield Suns. Here in the top of the third, the first pitch is in there for a called strike to the shortstop, number 9, Sal Frelich, with a great defensive play last inning. A Jeter-esque throw over to first, getting a runner out. He's walked and stolen the base thus far. Here is the 0-1 pitch. Beautiful curve there from Johnson. And the count now is 0-2.
Both of these pitchers have some really good movement pitches. Johnson's curve, usually a slow, hangy curve isn't a good thing to have, but Johnson, he uses it the correct way.
This one, a chopper over to second. Nunez will glove, throw over to first in time.
Well, while we have a moment, an interesting fun fact I just learned about today's Cardinals-Cubs game. The Cubs, Billy, used 3 position players on the mound. They're the first team to do that since the 1979 Milwaukee Brewers. Isn't that a fun fact?
That is a fun fact. And I believe you also mentioned that Matt Carpenter was the first player to have 5 extra base hits in the first 6 innings.
In the first 6 innings in MLB history. He had 3 homers and 2 doubles in that time.
And then he also was replaced in the 6th.
I mean, yeah, the team was up 16-1 at the time.
No sense. There, center fielder number 10, Jeff Mayhew, with a big cut and miss, actually fouled off. County Years 0-1. He walked his last time up. Yeah, you don't want to have him injured in a game where he's at. Sure, there's history, but then there's a smart move and, hey, you've done enough today.
There's history, and then there's history moving forward. So, yes.
Pitch runs low on the curve there to Mejia. The count now 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah.
Johnson here with the slow windup against the lefty. The 1-1, another beautiful curveball. And Johnson is feeling that curve. Count now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Carpenter got me 68 points in fantasy today. That was fun.
1-2, swung on, fouled off. Right over towards Chris Barber out of the hitting coach for the Suns. But we will watch that one, have a player go grab that one. Looks like Demo. So it will remain 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Jeff Mejia, the center fielder. The kick and deal, the 1-2, ring him up. He knew it the whole way. Absolutely filthy curveball from Johnson. But what else is new?
Filthy doesn't do it justice. That thing is demolishing the North Shore lineup. You really noticed when Johnson got into trouble back in the first, he really wasn't using the curve that much, and he started turning to it and leaning on it a little bit more, which on paper seems like a questionable decision with the bases loaded and nobody out, but the Navigators haven't done anything to him ever since he started doing that.
So this will bring up the third baseman, number 2, Elias Varinos. He singled to center. And the pitch. Shot over towards first base. Marin gloves it. He's going to take it himself for another 1-2-3 inning, albeit last inning was a hit by pitch, double play, then and out. So still a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. And now we head through 2.5 to the bottom of the third. Currently, no score between the Suns and the North Shore Navigators. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network, presented by Cranwell Spa and Golf Resort.
Too bad about radio.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, since television, hardly anybody listens to radio anymore.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that if I were you. There's a radio in use for every man, woman, and teenager in America.
Really? Gee, I'd hate to think of them all turning them on at once.
They do. Every morning.
Who listens to radio? That go where you go, medium called radio. That's with you every night through the long commuter fight, and in the morning with your toast and mama lady-o. who listens to radio. No matter if it's summer, winter, spring, or fall. Who listens to radio? Only 150 million people. That's all.
We head now to the 8-9-1 hitters for the Pittsfield Suns, finishing up the first set through the lineup for the Suns offense. With the all-star catcher number 16, Taylor Mier, out of the number 8 spot.
Mier, a 283 hitter, driven in 5 runs with 9 walks to 14 strikeouts. Again, Billy, not the most impressive batting numbers, but really Mier's work behind the plate is what got him named to the All-Star game this year.
So here for Mier, got a bat from the left-hand side. As with the nod, Began, with the first pitch, will be taken inside on the corner for a called strike, 0-1. Wind up again from Began, the 0-1. This one cut on and fouled off. 1 ball, rather 2 strikes, no balls.
Well, another fun fact about Matt Carpenter from today's game, he had a leadoff homer in the first inning. 21st time in his career, and that matches Lou Brock for most in Cardinals history, which is
the legend that is Lou Brock. Yes. That is really something.
Yes. Carpenter did it for the 6th time this year, which also beat anything Lou Brock ever did for the Cardinals in that regard in 1 year.
Here's the 0-2. That one cut on a miss for strike 3. That is the 4th strikeout tonight for Began. He's been really feeling it. Now the only man not to take a hack with a lumber stick is right fielder number 2, Kyle Cronk.
Cronk, a 240 hitter. He's been getting that up steadily over the course of the season. A homer with 6 RBI, walking 8 times to 18 strikeouts. And yeah, Billy, anytime you're mentioned in the same breath as a guy like Lou Brock, you know
you're doing something well.
You did well.
Pitch. A late strike call. It runs up and in. I don't know how in the world, but
it looked more or less like a strike, at least from my vantage point.
Rod is not liking that one. The 0-1 curve, and this one's looked good, but that one just missed.
Yeah, that one looked like a 50-50 ball on that one, right on the line.
Here is the 1-1, as this one is cut on and miss for strike 2.
Well, no debating on that one.
Not unless you're in the Mexican Baseball League.
I was just about to say, I don't suppose I can ever say that again, can I?
Here is the 1-2. Cut on and miss for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts, 5 on the day here for Began, and now this will bring up Alexander White, the left fielder, who chopped a grounder over to short his last time up.
Well, short of hiccuping against Nunez, really just a flawless first time through the order. Nunez got to him once, but he easily recovered off of that, and nobody else even came close to posing a threat. Began's on cruise control at the moment. Unfortunately, this is not unheard of to see from the Suns this year.
Pitch hits the outside corner. Here is the 0-1 from Began. That one's in there for a called strike 2. Began borrowing that other ball that he threw. So he's got the potential to go 10 pitches this inning. Here's the 0-2. Misses low and outside. Count now is 1-2. Probably the closest thing we've seen to an immaculate inning this season.
Not probably. I can't think of anything that would have come closer.
Now the 1-2. This one chopped foul. The count here remains 1-2. When was the last time we had an immaculate inning? I believe it was last year. Was that Hughes that was on the mound?
I don't remember having one at all, actually. I mean, maybe we have and I just forgot it somehow, but I don't remember seeing one here.
A 1-2 is popped up to shallow right. Coming in is Sutherland, and he's going to collect the final out of the inning. So that'll be a 1-2-3 inning. Down go the Suns offense. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We head now through 3 full innings of play to the top of the 4th. No score between the Navigators and the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network, presented by Cranwell Spa and Golf Resort.
Salagadoola, metricapoola, bibbidi bobbidi boo. You must be one of Fairy godmother? Yes.
It doesn't take a fairy godmother to tell you that the right fit means everything.
Good heavens, child. You can't go in that.
Children under 4'9" need to be in a booster seat because they aren't ready for adult safety belts alone. Many parents miss the important step of booster seats.
Maybe you better explain things to him.
Booster seats raise your child up so that a safety belt designed for adults will fit and protect them properly.
Oh, that does make a difference.
Remember that 4'9" is the magic number, and get your little pumpkin there safely in a booster seat.
Hop in, my dear. Oh, thank you.
And like Cinderella, you can live happily ever after.
It's like a dream. A wonderful dream come true.
For more information, visit boosterseat.gov. This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Top of the fourth, and we have a little bit of cloud cover. May let us get away from a sun delay, but it doesn't look like it's going to cover too much.
No, I could see a kind of a hole in the clouds there that it's probably going to get through in on. But, well, one can only hope, right? At least that we dodge a sun delay not the way we did yesterday.
This will bring up the second baseman, number 1, Joey Murphy. He grounded into a fielder's choices. First time up with the bases loaded. Back in the first with no runs coming aboard, starting with the bases loaded, nobody gone. Johnson got through the next 3 in order, striking out 2. Here's the first pitch to Murphy, in there for a called strike, 0-1. Here's the next pitch. This one, a chopper headed towards short. Going to grab this one is Hughes. The veteran shortstop throws over to first in time for the first out of the inning. Just a pretty easy play that you could do at any sort of BP.
Indeed.
And now let's bring up the catcher, number 44, Dominic Keegan. He struck out swinging his last time up.
And yet again, Billy, this has been a low-scoring affair. It's been a quick ball game, and it's kind of turning into a bit of a trend here lately, hasn't it?
Oh, people do need to find their footing, I suppose. Pitch, beautiful curveball. And it's called strike on the outside corner. He backdoors Keegan. Count here is 0-1 from the lefty. Johnson exhales, winds, and deals the 0-1. Just misses low over the inside part of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Johnson, the senior out of Springfield College, his college teammate is Chad Shade, who lives here in Pittsfield. This one dribbled foul over toward the Suns' dugout. Great snare there from DiMartino with no glove. Count here is 1 ball, 2 strikes for Johnson. He's a true lefty, 5'11", 190 pounder. Out of East Haddam, Connecticut, and Nathan Halray High School. He's only a few short months away from getting a sports management degree, as this one runs low over the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a windup and the 2-2. That one also runs low. Now full 3-2. Keegan battling here to get on base.
Do something to break up Johnson's momentum.
Here is a payoff. High fly ball going into shallow left. Hughes and White are going to grab it. Hughes being called off by their left fielder there, Alexander White. And grabbing that one is White.
Good defensive play on that one from White.
And great communication there from the shortstop, Hughes, and left fielder White as well.
Yes, certainly.
That being said, this will now bring up the DH number 20, Harrison Engstrom. He struck out swinging on 3 pitches to end the threat in the first. With the bases loaded, nobody gone, he was the final out. The lefty with the pitch. Big cut and miss, and that's strike 1. Here is the 0-1. Big curveball and an absolute monster of a curve. Big swing and miss there from Engstrom. The count is 0-2. Here now the 0-2. Misses high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He tried to make him chase there, but it's really no fault.
Looking at it, Billy, the sun poking out at us from the clouds. I don't think it's imminent per se, but I feel like it's going to happen.
Well, this is going to happen as well. Another strikeout from Johnston.
Indeed.
You have 1, 2, 3, 4 strikeouts in the ballgame for Johnson through 4 full. We head through 3.5 innings of play as it's another 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We head to the bottom of the fourth, 3.5 innings in. We had no score between the Navigators and the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network, presented by Cranwell Spa and Golf Resort.
In times like these, violence in our schools is a reality, so it's important to know what to do if a dangerous situation arises, and also how to prevent it. Kids, never bring a weapon to school, and if you see a student with one or even hear someone talking about having a weapon, report it immediately. If something doesn't seem right or look right to you, speak up. If someone you know is showing signs of anger, or if you are feeling out of control, tell someone. If you feel threatened or bullied, tell someone. Violent acts often start out as small disagreements. Tell a parent or teacher if you see an argument taking place. It's better to let someone know about a disagreement before it gets out of hand. Let's put an end to these tragedies. Ask your school to adopt an anti-violence program. Visit ncpc.org to learn more about how to keep your school safe. That's ncpc.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Now the bottom of the fourth, 2-3-4 batters due up. This will bring the shortstop number 30, Thomas Hughes, up. He struck out looking his first time up as the first pitch runs low and outside. Count here is 1 ball, no strikes here to the veteran shortstop, Thomas Hughes. He's senior out of the University of Oklahoma. He won up. That one snared foul first base side. Going to chase his one home, but he's going to run well out of room. And that one's going to go to the picnic area, and it's going to be a great ball for someone to bring home. 1 ball, 1 strike here.
Maybe consider taking the next pitch or something because Egan has been carving this lineup up.
This one, a chopper off of home plate. This will go over towards the Suns' dugout. Now 1-2.
Another swing at a bad pitch. He's been rolling lately, and the Suns have largely been helping him out, really, at the plate.
Here is the 1-2 from Began. Big cut and miss as he chases the changeup well in front. Pulling the string is Began with yet another strikeout, his 6th in the ballgame.
Yes, with yet another strikeout. Again, 6th of the ballgame. Three of the last 4 he's put down have been by way of the K. You know, isn't someone going to, I don't know, try to work the count, maybe not swing at every pitch they're given or something? Because this is, I mean, I guess if anyone's going to do that, it's the man at the plate. Now it's Sullivan, so maybe he can set a trend moving forward in this game.
Here's the pitch. No, this one's a chopper over to second. Gloving this one is Murphy. He'll throw over to first. 1 pitch, 1 gone, makes it 2 gone now.
Well, never mind.
Center fielder number 20, Dave Matthews, who has also struck out swinging.
Never mind that. I suppose I wouldn't expect Dave Matthews to do something like that, so we might just see another excellent inning from Bejan unless Matthews really gets one over his bat. We know he can do damage when he makes contact. It's just that lately, in particular today, more often than not, he ends up striking out.
So Began going against now Dave Matthews, who struck out swinging. Sun delay really imminent at this point. Here's the pitch. A check swing. Did he go? I think they're going to appeal here. They are not. It was a check swing, and I don't think they will appeal, so it will be ruled a ball.
I don't think he would have gone anyway. They might not have thought it was close enough.
They will appeal. He does not go, says bases umpire Anthony Inzero. Very close, but ruled he did not. That Sun is really getting into deep territory. We're waiting on Sun delay here any minute. Here's the 1-0. Hot shot over the head of the shortstop. Freelick goes into left center field for a base hit. Matthews thinking too here. He's going to take a very wide turn at first and settle with a single.
Good coverage in the outfield stops it from being a double, but still well hit from Matthews. Like I said, he can really get some power underneath it when he's making contact, as he proves so right there.
That was the second base hit of the ball game, and the first since this man in the second inning, the second baseman with a double, number 39, Ivan Nunez. He's 1 for 1. Pitch. That one runs out of the zone. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's a pitch. This one is slow chopper down third base side, and it will run foul. And a great veteran presence there from Verinos to watch this one roll foul, because there was no shot of a double play and a very hard chance of getting the runner out over at first.
No shot of a double play with 2 outs on the board, but I think you're right on that one, Billy. It would have been a 50-50 throw on the first anyhow, and you don't really want to risk it having a runner in scoring position given the nature of this ball game. So a good idea to just let the ball go. It's a strike on the board.
1 ball, 1 strike as Began. Runner goes. A pitch is in there. A called strike throw, but a second is in time. A very strong throw from Keegan will get the runner.
Beautiful throw.
So in the inning, no runs off of 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. We head now through 4 full to the top of the 5th. No score between the Suns and the Navigators. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network, presented by Cranwell Spa and Golf Resort.
Did you know the 3rd leading cause of fire deaths for older adults is cooking? Hi, I'm Rob Neal from the United States Fire Administration with important fire safety tips for seniors. Never leave cooking unattended because a serious fire can start in seconds. Don't wear loose clothing while cooking. Keep towels and pot holders away from the range. Double check the kitchen before you go to bed or leave your home. This message is brought to you by the United States Fire Administration, your local fire department, and this radio station.
Hi, we're talking to real smokers about quitting. Tell me when you smoke and why you smoke.
Eat, cigarette, kids, cigarette, dinner, another cigarette.
1 on my way to lunch, 1 after lunch.
And another cigarette, and another cigarette.
Have you tried to quit?
Yes. I become angry.
It ain't that easy. You can't just quit cold turkey. I tried.
What would you do different?
Actually having a plan and thinking it through.
You have to relearn how to live your life without a cigarette in your hand.
With the right plan, you can quit smoking. Free at becomeanx.org. X, a new way to think about quitting. Brought to you by X and the Ad Council.
Did you know that every 2 seconds someone in America needs blood? Dr. Phil here, and I'd like to encourage you to donate blood through the American Red Cross. If you've never given before, now's a great time to start. If you've given before, do it again. It only takes about an hour, and your donation could make a life-saving difference. So contact the American Red Cross today. To make an appointment, call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE or visit givelife.org today. Thank you.
Top of the 5th, no score between the Navigators and the Suns, looking like their 2nd straight pitchers duel following the All-Star break, that being the Suns. We'll bring up the bottom of the order here in the top of the 5th. The right fielder, number 5, George Sutherland. He was hit by a pitch the first pitch he saw. This one, he sees this one get in there for a called strike. The count here is 0-1, fouling the fastball of Johnson on the lower outside corner against the lefty. Now the next pitch. Curveball and a beauty. What else is new? In there at the knees. Called strike 0-2.
Billy, with a little bit of cloud cover over the sun, I still think we'll probably see a delay, but I don't think it'll be very long.
The 0-2 is cut on a miss for strike 3. Again, Johnson, I know the scouts are in the stands. You got to sign this kid. He's got something special with that curveball.
He sure does. But something that isn't so special was that swing. It's like he watched the ball go past him and then thought, hey, I should swing at nothing, and then swung at it when it had reached Mier's glove for some reason. So a very ugly swing, but a beautiful pitch that Brian Johnson threw.
Pitch. That one runs out of the zone for a ball. The count here is 1 ball, no strikes. Andrew Olzak, the left fielder, taking it. Not going to duplicate what he did last, which was a 5-4-3 double play. Johnson with the 1-0, as this one is in there for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 man gone.
But I mean, I saw Sutherland. He watched the pitch hit Mier's glove, then swung at it.
This one is a fastball that had a little cut action to it from Johnson with a cut fastball. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Next pitch, breaking ball, but it goes out to right field. Going back here is the right fielder, Kronk, and he gets underneath that one as that one was nearly troubled. And now there's 2 men gone.
You can see Kronk inching forward at that one a little bit before retreating to go for it at the wall, almost making a critical elementary mistake, but able to snare this one and simply make it an F9.
Now this will bring up the first baseman, number 32, Mitchell Lundholm, who grounded out to third his last time up. Here's the pitch. That one runs low and outside against the lefty. 1 ball, no strikes. Yeah, a little bit of cloud cover, Andrew, and it looks like we may be all set. All depends.
I hope so.
The 1-0, as this one is flared foul, third base side. They're going to run out of room. White's anxious to grab that one because, well, he wants to crash into another wall, but it'll just go down as a foul ball. But yeah, that sun delay is all in the eye of the beholder, or that being the home plate umpire, Brian Barry, the man at the plate, Mitchell Lundholm, or the catcher for the Suns, Taylor Mier. That is the beholder. Here's the windup and the 1-1. This one snared down the left field line, and this one will be just foul. About 5 feet foul makes it 1-2. So new lease on life for one more pitch at least will be Lundholm. He'll gather himself. Johnson has a sign. Here's the 1-2. Another filthy curveball from Johnson. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts on the ball game for Johnson. Fantastic outing, and he's only given up a hit thus far. But in the inning, it's his third straight 1-2-3 inning. Rather, 4. This now brings it to the bottom of the 5th. No score between the Navigators and the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network, presented by Cranwell Spa and Golf Resort.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
First pitch is a check swing, and they rule Nunez went. So that'll be strike number 1 being called on the swing. For Ivan Nunez, a double thus far. He was up last at bat, but someone was caught stealing. This one is ripped foul, and Gedman tries to barehand it, and he definitely felt the wind off that. He's motioning at least. So, yikes. I wouldn't grab that one unless I had a glove. But then again, this is coming from me talking about the former professional Double-A infielder. The 0-2. Big cut and miss. It's dropped, but the tag is applied. Another strikeout here for Began, as it is a strikeout fest.
Well, Nunez did double off him in the second and saw some pitches last time he was up last inning, but not enough as he just gets carved down absolutely easily here in the 5th. And both of these pitchers getting just absolutely rocked, or rather doing the rocking right now.
First baseman number 21, Peter Marin, chops one foul third base side. Gedman's going to have an easier time with that one, and he gives himself a good old pat on the back.
It was not so hardly hit, and it had some bounces to it, so you hope that Gedman can handle it.
Exactly. Now for Began, forgot to mention right now, he's got 7 strikeouts, as this one's a chopper to third. Great pick there from Varinos. A throw over to first in time. Now 2 men gone.
We've seen this before. Yesterday we saw plenty of this, and it ended up with a 1-0 win. And I don't know, Billy, but we might be well on our way to another game like that here tonight, as really neither side making any sort of offensive headway against one another tonight. And again, these innings have been very, very fast.
Well, Andrew, we have just under 2 minutes left here in the bottom of the fifth with 2 men gone to collect another out, and we'll be through 5 full innings in less than an hour.
I believe it was that way yesterday as well.
Here's a pitch. That one runs low for a ball here to third baseman number 1, Jack Kalumovic. He grounded out to third his last time up. Here's a windup from Began and the 1-0. That one a breaking ball. Looked like a changeup, and it does hit the outside corner. Called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 men gone here in the bottom of the fifth. No score between the Suns and the Navigators.
You appreciate the more disciplined approach to the play from Kalumovic.
1-2. This one fouled back.
Never mind. Not a pitch he really should have hacked at. That one well high. Really been the theme of the game tonight for the Suns. Really just both teams in general. Just swing at whatever and hope something good happens.
Here is the 1-2 from Began. Beautiful curveball, ring him up. Strikeout number 8 from Zach Began. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We head now through 5 full to the top of the 6th. No score between the Navigators and the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
The following commercial is sponsored by feedthepig.org, an organization devoted to helping you save money. We will not entice you with messages like
lowest prices in town, dealer approved, certified pre-owned.
Nor will we brag about our
huge selection, enormous variety.
We will offer no contingencies like
see store for details. Legal exclusions apply.
Because we simply want to help you spend smarter and save better. Log on to feedthepig.org. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Top tier pitching now to the top of the 6th and the top of the order. It'll be Freelich, Mejia, Perinos taking in here to be at bat, on deck, and in the hole. Collectively, only 1 for 4 on the day, but 2 walks and a stolen base as well. So Freelich going to dig in, but do have local games that are happening around the FCBL.
Well, the Nashville Silver Knights dropped Game 1 against the Worcester Bravehearts in their doubleheader by a score of 7-2. Looking to get Game 2 started any minute now at Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field. In addition, at the Vineyard Baseball Park, Brockton on top of Martha's Vineyard, 1-0 in the bottom of the 2nd. Again, the Navigators really have their eyes on that Game 2 in Worcester. As again, if the Nashville Silver Knights do win one of those games and the Navigators drop a game here, it would cause the Silver Knights to overtake the Navigators in the standings.
Count now is 1-1, fouling that ball that went in the dirt. Johnson here. And the 1-1. Josh misses outside. A good location. Now it's 2-1.
Billy, this is, now that it's after the All-Star break, this is the time where we really start to say, like, if the playoffs began today, like, this is what the team needs to do to go win this seed and whatnot. This is when those discussions really start to heat up.
Here is a 2-1. Curveball and another fantastic curve from Johnson.
We just come to expect it at this point, Billy. We're spoiled.
Here's a 2-2 from Johnson. Another curve and almost got him inside corner. Patting his glove there was Mier because he thought he had him, but it was just a little bit high. Now full 3-2. Johnson. The windup. Payoff. Fastball and calculated. Cut out and miss for strike 3. Expecting the curveball there was Freelich with a late swing.
Yeah, you could definitely tell he did not see that coming. Johnson getting a lot of his outs by way of the curb. But ever since the first inning, the Navigators just haven't done anything to him really at all.
7 strikeouts now for Johnson. This is the center fielder number 10, Jeff Mejia. Speaking of, he's 0 for 1 with one of those 7 strikeouts, also a walk. Here's the first pitch. This one misses on the outside corner high, 1-0.
As miserable as the team's offense has been over the last couple of days, the defense has been every bit as impressive.
Here's a 1-0, and that one misses high as well. Now 2-0.
Johnson currently sitting in at 73 pitches at the moment.
2-0. Also misses low and outside. Now the count is 3-0. For the first time since the beginning of the ball game, there's a 3-0 count. That being Self-Freeland. On the wind-up, the pitch. That one runs low and outside. That'll be a walk there for Mejia. And bring up third baseman number 2, Elias Varinos, who is 1 for 2 on the day.
Well, that kind of is a blip on Johnson's radar as it snaps a very impressive streak that had stemmed all the way back to the second inning. But nevertheless, merely could be just a blip on the radar. See how he deals with the Varinos here.
12 men retired in a row. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a line.
Indeed. Makes you forget that first inning ever happened.
Pitch. Low in the dirt for a ball. The count here now is ball 5 for Johnson. Count is 1-0. Varinos, the only man with a base hit thus far against the Suns here today. That was back in the first. Johnson with the 1-0. Right down the middle. Called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Breaking up the bit of a foul ball streak, or rather the foul ball, not the actual foul ball, but the not so well thrown ball streak that he had of 5 straight balls.
Johnson from the stretch. Here's a 1-1. In the dirt, good block there from Mier, the all-star defensive catcher. And now it's 2-1. Johnson will pick off over to first, back in safely. Great pickoff move there from Johnson. A late dive there from Mejia. Here's a pitch. A hot shot goes past the third baseman and goes into left field for another base hit. And Varinos at this point in time has been the thorn in the Suns' side. He has the only 2 hits in the ball game for the Navigators.
Indeed, he does. Maybe he could give his teammates some advice or something because virtually nobody else has even done a thing to Brian Johnson at this point.
Now Shalik is going to talk things over here with Brian Johnson.
He's going to say something along the lines of, yeah, we're just going to intentionally walk Varinos, and then you can just deal with everyone else like you have been all game. Okay, sounds great. Back to the game.
Now the whole infield is going to come in here to get this game plan going. Second baseman number 1, Joey Murphy, will take it fouling this conference. As I don't think we might get a sun delay. It's very tricky to spot from up here.
Doesn't look like we will, Billy. It looks like we're in the clear. In a much more pleasant way than yesterday, of course.
Yeah, we actually had cloud cover, not sunglasses cover, with your retina still burning out. Another capacity crowd here in Pittsfield. This will bring up Murphy with runners on first and second, 1 man gone. Hughes is playing in between straightaway and double play depth. Nunez the whole way double play. Runners sit on the corners as well. Corner infielders, that is, in as this one's in there for a called strike, 0-1 to Murphy.
Interesting NBA news in a little bit when I get a moment after this next pitch.
From the stretch, Johnson will check over on second in the pickup motion towards first, and they got him. No, they ruled him safe.
No.
They ruled him safe. Gedman is charging to the bases umpire. He was out by a mile.
No, come on. Oh, he didn't even touch the bag when he got tagged. Oh, come on.
This is very interesting on how that was ruled safe. He did not even hit the base.
No, he didn't. Oh, boy. That was not good.
Gedman obviously confused.
Probably saying.
And very upset regarding this because that was a straightaway call. Barbarata can only smile. Shalika's still upset as well.
Oh, you can tell Barbarata wants to say something. Hasn't he told you in the past, Billy, that he was going to get thrown out of some game or something like that?
No, he was upset regarding a call. But Gedman, get your money's worth there.
Let's go, Getty. Oh, let's go.
And now he's been thrown out.
Oh, let's
stay in there, Gedman. Stay in there. Get your money's worth, Gedman. Out by a mile. Absolutely ridiculous call. First ejection on the season for Gedman, and this crowd's going to give him a standing O, and for obvious reason. A fantastic pickoff move and a pickout. And now Gedman's going to throw the bucket of balls. There you go, Getty. We might not get a sun delay, but, well, you're going to have a little bit of time getting those bucket of balls. And now Innsbruck is ordering Todd Alford to not pick up the bucket of balls, and now the Suns are going to stand around. Innsbruck is ordering the Sun staff to pick up the bucket of balls. No one's going to do it. Dave Matthews coming from center field, and he'll take a ball. Great move there by Matthews as he's going to throw a ball around. Keep warm. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we would have a sun delay right now. And now this is rich. Come on, Alex, you got it. Want to give a shout out here, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Alex, the ball boy, throws his helmet in disgust. Obviously safe over at first. A blown call by Anthony Enzero. And I thought the officiating was poor yesterday. We're going to return to play. Gedman's been thrown out, got his money's worth, barking at Anthony Enzero after he absolutely blew a call over at first. Clearly safe, and he's clearly out, and ruled safe. Absolutely absurd. Johnson's going to try to recover here following the pickoff that he caught Varinos over on first napping. It'll be an 0-1 count with one man gone, and here's the pitch. That went in the dirt for a ball. The count now is 1 ball, 1 strike, with somehow runners on both first and second rather than second only, and 2 men gone. We've been waiting for that for a long time. Gedman Patience finally ran thin as the runners go. This one, a chopper over to short, and it is booted there by Hughes, and that one's going to go down as an error on Hughes, charging there on a hard play. Tentatively will be an error. Not sure if the batter would have been saved, but at least right now it's going to be ruled an error. We'll look back at it after the ball game. So here is Joey Murphy. Here's the first pitch, and that one drops low for a ball to Dominic Keegan. Count is 0-2. Here's the 1-0. This one is fouled back towards us. And count now 1 ball, 1 strike. Johnson at least trying to get a ground ball here. As here is the 1-1. Bounces in. Now 2-1. Johnson with the 2-1. Fastball in the dirt again. And that one got a piece of the air. He's going to take a little time to recover here. Now it's 3-1, and he's got to go right at him. You have nowhere to put him. EJ trying to get the sign, but time called here from Keegan. From the stretch. Here's a 3-1. Curveball. Wow. Wow. Go ahead, Barbarata. Keep going. That walks in somehow. A run. Designated hitter number 20, Harrison Engstrom will dig, and he struck out twice. It's 1-0 somehow, some way, as this one is fouled back. And the good news is you can't blunder a call like that. 0-1 is the count with 1 man gone. On third is Varinos. Murphy on second, Keegan on first. The 0-1, curveball. That one hit in the air towards right. Cronk getting underneath this one. And he's going to collect that one. A strong throw over towards third, and it's going to be picked off there by Hughes. That'll be a sacrifice fly. And now it's 2-0. Runners on the corners now. And now Barry talking with Barbarata. This is George Sutherland with runners on the corners. A cut on and miss. A throw over to second. And he's going to be safe. It gets underneath the glove of Hughes, and a run is going to score again. This one on a throwing error, as this one was in the dirt. Stolen base, and now it's 3-0. Stolen base, 2-6. Or rather, not 2-6, excuse me. Here's a pitch. That one drops in there on a curveball for a strike. Count is 0-2, and the pitch. This is outside. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here now the 1-2. Called strike 3. And the umps get the call right. 3 runs total come in. Controversial doesn't even begin the inning. Navigators lead at 3-0. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network, presented by Cranwell Spawn Golf Resort.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
Check it out, it's the Terminator. Hey, when'd you get back, huh?
Did you have to shoot anyone?
Why are you so distant? Are you not happy to see me?
So what's the deal? You gonna get a job now or what?
Why are you being so jumpy? Put all that stuff behind you, okay?
No one knows what it's like to come back from Iraq or Afghanistan unless they were there. Join other veterans at communityofveterans.org because we know where you're coming from. Brought to you by Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America and the Ad Council.
We head to the bottom of the 6th. It's 3-0 after one of the worst innings I've seen in quite some time as the pitch runs low for a ball to Taylor Mier. The count is 1-0.
Right now, at Vineyard Baseball Park, the Brockton Rocks lead the hometown Sharks 3-0. Tie ball game at Hanover Insurance Park at Pittsfield between the Nashville Silver Knights and Worcester Bravehearts, top of the 2nd.
Pitch was in there for a called strike. Now 1 ball, 1 strike here to Taylor Mier. Next pitch, slow chopper towards first. First baseman will glove it, a flip over to the pitcher for out number 1. Now bringing up the right fielder, number 2, Kyle Crunk. So no sun delay, but definitely a lot of heat is gathered from this ball game. Cal Crunk struck out swinging his first time up, and the first pitch from Began is fired. Cut on and missed for strike 1. Here is the 0-1. This one is slept foul. And the count now is 1-2. Rather, 0-2. This one curved. That one misses high. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shake of a head is Began. twice. Now with a nod, he'll exhale. Kick and deal as this one is cut on and miss for strike 3.
And that type of day for the Suns is Beacon continuing to carve them down. Very manageable pitch count. He has something left to give to this game.
Market number 9 for Beacon, who has had the start of the year for him as a Navigator. 5 2/3, 9 strikeouts as the pitch runs low on the inside part of the plate here to Alexander White. Count is 1-0. With an exhale, Beacon with 1-0. Right in there. Called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. This one a chopper over towards third. Another great glove there from Verino. Throw over to first in time. That will end the inning. So the dominance by Beacon continues as this will bring another 1-2-3 inning. Down go the Suns. New pitcher of the ballgame for the Pittsfield Suns. We'll be right back with more Pittsfield Suns baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network, presented by Cranwell Spa and Golf Resort.
The following commercial is sponsored by feedthepig.org, an organization devoted to helping you save money. We will not entice you with messages like
lowest prices in town, dealer approved, certified pre-owned.
Nor will we brag about our
huge selection, enormous variety.
We will offer no contingencies like
see store for details. Legal exclusions apply.
Because we simply want to help you spend smarter and save better. Log on to feedthepig.org. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared in the event of a disaster? I'm Jim Cantori, reminding you that the best way to make your family safer is to be prepared before disaster strikes. First, build a disaster supply kit with enough supplies for each family member for at least 3 days. Next, make a family communication or evacuation plan. Finally, stay informed. Listen to local radio and TV reports when disasters are imminent. For more information on how you can be Red Cross ready, contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit redcross.org.
New pitcher in the ballgame, and that is going to be Ryan Towley. Towley, 3 appearances, 1 start, 9 innings, 14 hits, 11 runs, 9 earned, walking 7 to 12 strikeouts with a loss on the ledger for an ugly 9 ERA. Not particularly inspiring last time up here at Wacona Park, but all tasked to hold the line here in the top of the 7th. Well, Brian Johnson had it all going through 5 innings, but everything falling apart in the 6th inning of work. He will, however, get the quality start, albeit he will be in line for the loss at 6 innings pitched, 25 batters faced, 3 runs allowed on 2 hits, 4 walks with a hit by pitch. He struck out 8 on 93 pitches, so it was mandatory for him to be removed at this point.
So Towley will face off against the 8-9-1 batters. Olzak will see a first pitch for a called strike, 0-1. Ryan Johnson with an absolutely fantastic start. As here's the 0-1, also in there, called strike, 0-2. In the 6th inning, he did walk in a run. The 0-2 misses outside, now 1-2. But a great pickoff move to first. Somehow ruled safe when he was clearly out in any measure. Here's the 1-2. Big cut and miss there. And Towley gets his first man down on the first batter faced. And that's how you rebound, ladies and gentlemen. You got to go right at the Navigators. You can no longer have this ball game in the hands of the umpires. You've already seen that it is inconsistent.
Pitching be as great as can be, but down 3-0, you need the batting to pick you up as well. Batting, much like yesterday, has been virtually non-existent in the world of today.
This will be the number 9 hitter, Mitchell Lundholm, as the pitch runs low for a ball. Count is 1-0. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Billy Madewell, Andrew Belargent, Paul outfield at Wacona Park. Here now in the top of the 7th, 1-man count. It's a 1-0 count to Mitchell Lundholm. Currently a 3-0 score. The Navigators lead it. Pitch is in. 1 ball, now 2 balls and no strikes. Here is the 2-0. This one on the inside hands, that is, and it's fouled up. A couple defensive changes here. From last half inning, I forgot to mention, Freilich moves from short to center. Mejia is replaced by Knight, who goes into right. Sutherland from right to left, and Olzak from left to short. Here is the 2-1, as this one's a high fly ball deep to center field. Going back is Matthews, and he will try to get it, but not be able to get there. It'll go off the wall. A strong throw in, preventing the triple. Wow, what an arm.
You know, he has an arm because he can swing a bat really, really well when he makes contact, and that's stopping the triple there. Good defensive effort from Matthews.
Leadoff hitter, shortstop, number 9, Sal Freilich. Rather now the center fielder. Check on second for Talley, and the pitch. Called strike. Count is 0-1. And the pitch, the 0-1, that one bounces in. Another great stop there from the air. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kick and deal. The 1-1 is lifted over our heads, foul. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Long hold here from Talley. Now he'll set. And here's the 1-2. High fly ball, but this one's going to go well over our heads again. Now, again, it remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner does go. The pitch misses. A throw over to third. Not in time. The leg gets in there. So that will go down as called strike 3, it looks like, as I didn't see the called strike, but it's there. So a strikeout and safe over on third is Lundholm. Now this will be J.P. Knight, the right fielder, as a defensive replacement. He'll come in for the first time tonight. Runner on third, 3-0. Navigators lead it.
Looking at J.P. Knight, a .246 hitter, 7 ribbies, 13 walks to an astounding 37 strikeouts on the year, but also leading the team with 8 stolen bases.
Pitch is low for a ball, 1-0.
37 strikeouts is quite the number for sure.
That's definitely up there in the league.
So is 18 stolen bases.
The 1-0 is lifted deep into right. Getting underneath one is Kronk, and he will make the grab and end the inning. Only a double, so no rounds off, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left. We're going to listen in for Sweet Caroline as it is stretch time. Rather that be Take Me Out to the Ball Game. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network, presented by Cranwell Spawn Golf Resort. Leading off the bottom of the 7th will be the shortstop, number 30, Thomas Hughes. He struck out twice thus far. Vegan coming out for his 7th inning. And the pitch. Misses low and away. Count is 1-0.
There's plenty left in the tank at this point. 65 pitches after that first pitch ball.
Here's the next pitch. That one, it's the upper outside corner. Now the count is 1 ball, 1 strike.
Could easily finish this inning and come out for the 8th.
This one, a chopper between third and short. Backhanded, a throw over to first, and got him!
What a throw. I know the crowd
Close play.
The crowd is
very close play.
The crowd isn't happy about it, but the right call on a beautiful throw.
Well, I think everyone's booing for all the officiating up to this point.
We're getting through that bucket of balls. You can see the coaching staff still up in arms. That call, though, you could argue that either way, but it looked like it was the right call.
Down just by a half step. Patrick Sullivan batting from the left-hand side, 0 for 2. As here is the 0-1. This is high and away. Spencer Brown moves into second base defensively, replacing Murphy. Here's the 1-1. Low over the outside corner, and the count now is 2 balls and 1 strike. The good news is you can definitely tell that this Suns crowd is, well, looking for exactly. Oh, that one fell back.
Did that hit our crowd back?
No.
Okay. I thought for a moment it did.
These Suns fans want the correct call, obviously upset. That one was the correct call, but before that, can't necessarily agree. 2-2. Pitch up and away, now 3-2.
Can't necessarily agree is an understatement. In fact, that might be the understatement of the game.
Here's the payoff, and that one runs low, and look out, all of a sudden, that's the first walk given up by Began.
Virtually uncontested almost all game long, and barring another slip in the slip, I would say that that's probably not too big of a deal for Began at this point, because the Suns' lifeless offense hasn't really threatened him all game long.
So bring up the center fielder, number 20, Dave Matthews. He's 1 for 2. 1 of 2 hits. And the man on deck with another hit is Ivan Nunez, a double in the second. This one snared down the third base line, and that one's going to run foul. Here to Dave Matthews. Egan from the stretch, the 0-1. This one fouled off of Matthews, and now the count is 0-2.
Matthews, the last guy, and one of only 2 to actually record a base hit against Beacon today.
Here is the next pitch. In on the hands, fouled off. Had a late break to it. And grabbing that one is Nunez off of the netting. 3 fouls makes it 0-2 with a continuation foul. 1 man gone, 1 man on. Suns got some catching up to do here in the later innings. The 0-2. Swung on yet again, fouled off, and now 4 fouls makes it 0-2. This pitch does hit the outside corner.
Once Matthews doesn't go down via swinging, and he's got some words, it seems.
I don't think that one had any intent. He was just asking if it was low or outside.
I don't know. He just turned back and had some more to say for him and put his hands up in a big, like, what are you talking about motion. I don't think he agreed with that call.
Second baseman number 39, Ivan Nunez, 1 for 2 the All-Star is. As the pitch runs high for a ball. The count is 1-0. Pickoff move over to first, and he's back in safely.
Back in safely being the correct call this time around.
The 1-0. Hot shot going into center field. Will dunk in for a base hit. Nunez with a multi-hit ball game. 2 of 3 total hits for the Suns thus far. And now there's runners on first and second with some 2-out hitting there from the All-Star. Bring up the first baseman, number 21, Peter Marin. Pitch. That one's in there. Called strike at the knees. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Fouled off, and now 0-2. Marin already in an 0-2 hole with 2 men gone, and he represents the game-tying run thus far here in the bottom of the 7th. From the stretch, Began has the sign, and the 0-2 misses outside.
83 pitches. Well, they're not warming anyone up in the pen, but you're not going to go as deep as we may have initially thought.
Time called by Marin. Take some extra stretches here. 83-60, however, for strikes, with an astounding 10 strikeouts. Pitch in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikeouts. Or excuse me, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Speaking of strikeouts. Yeah, double digits here for Began, giving up no runs. Only 3 hits thus far through 6 2/3. Trying to get through the full 7. Here's a 2-2. Cut on a miss for strike 3. Mark number 11 for Began, who has had one of the nights to remember in the FCBL. No runs off of only 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men gone. We now head through 7 full to the top of the 8th. Currently a 3-0 lead. The Navigators lead it. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Presented by Cranwell Spa Golf Resort.
The following commercial is sponsored by feedthepig.org, an organization devoted to helping you save money. We will not entice you with messages like
lowest prices in town, dealer approved, certified pre-owned.
Nor will we brag about our
huge selection, enormous variety.
We will offer no contingencies like
see store for details. Legal exclusions apply.
Because we simply want to help you spend smarter and save better. Log on to feedthepig.org. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
are you prepared in the event of a disaster? I'm Jim Cantori, reminding you that the best way to make your family safer is to be prepared before disaster strikes. First, build a disaster supply kit with enough supplies for each family member for at least 3 days. Next, make a family communication or evacuation plan. Finally, stay informed. Listen to local radio and TV reports when disasters are imminent. For more information on how you can be Red Cross ready, contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit redcross.org.
Well, two things happened in between innings here. A couple got engaged, and something else happened that I will not be able to say on air to protect something. I won't say what, but I'll just say this. Absolutely hilarious and well-deserved. Elias Verinos will begin the heart of the order. And I think they're motioning that there's going to be a new hitter because Joey Murphy was replaced by Spencer Brown last half inning. As the first pitch here from Towley is bounced in. And now the count here is 1-0 to begin the 8th.
Keeping in touch with the rest of the FCBL, Bravehearts on top of Silver Knights, 1-0 top of the third. 3-3 tie in the Vineyard Baseball Park between the Rocks and the Sharks.
Here is the pitch. That one is in there for a called strike. Now 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. This one a slow chopper behind the pitcher. Klumovic barehand throws over to first and not in time. The throw is high and they rule him safe.
The correct call on that play. A high throw from Kalumovic. Difficult to do much else if you're Kalumovic in that one. I don't know how that one will be ruled, but either way, a well-fought base runner for the Navigators.
It will be ruled as a base hit. That one probably one of the harder plays to make. So that's going to go down as a base hit. This is number 12, Spencer Brown. He was the defensive replacement back last inning, replacing Joey Murphy.
Looking at Brown, listed on the team's website as a pitcher, a .238 hitter, 3 RBI to go with 8 strikeouts and a walk.
Pitch is on the lower outside corner for a called strike. Count is 0-1. I am going to switch that actually now, realizing that was actually an error for Verinos, not a hit. And for the reason of that, it was not a fielding issue. The throw would have been there, so that will go down as an error, E5. Here's the pitch, a check swing. It's low. The appeal, he did not go. The count is 1-1. The pitch, this one over to second. This could be 2. Flip over to short for 1. Over to first in time. 4-6-3 double playing. All the bases are clear with 2 gone.
We get defensive momentum back after the error on the play.
So 4-6-3 double play.
Effectively erases the error.
Yes, it does. Pitch. That one misses. Count is 1-0. Next pitch. That one's in there for a called strike. Now 1-1. 1-1. That one just misses high. Now 2-1 here to number 44, Dominic Keegan. 0 for 2 with walking and a run as this one runs high. 3-1. Tally with the 3-1 now. The pitch caught on a miss. That now for strike 2, bringing it full. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 men gone. Tally with the payoff. This one fouled back over past us. Look out, everyone. That one's going to bounce. That's going to go past someone. It remains 3-2. Payoff again. Hot shot past the third baseman, Kalumovic, into left.
To field that one of your Kalumovic, and an unfortunate base hit there for Tally in the Sens defense.
Now this will bring up Harrison Engstrom, the DH. 0 for 2, a couple strikeouts and a sacrifice fly. Here's the pitch, lifted into left field. Charging here is going to be White. He will reach up and collect the final out of the inning. So that will end the inning. No runs off of 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 man left. We head now to the bottom of the 8th. We're going to stay here and listen to Sweet Caroline as the crowd will sing along. You'll hear them roar. 3-0 Navigators lead the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network, presented by Cranwell Spa and Golf Resort. So this will bring up the bottom of the 8th and bottom of the order. Jack Kalumovic, the third baseman, will dig in. He'll check his swing as this one runs low and away. Here is the 1-0. This one broke his bat, headed to short. Slow squibber. Olzak will charge. Throw over to first, and they got him.
Good job charging the ball, fielding it cleanly. Great throw on to first for the first out of the inning. Really looks a lot easier said than done on that one.
This will bring up the catcher, number 16, Taylor Mier. He's 0 for 2. Mier got a bat from the left-hand side. Here's the pitch. Hot shot foul. And the count is 0-1. The 0-1, that one's also fouled back, and now the count is 0-2. Here the 0-2 runs outside against the lefty. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Began in his final inning, trying to go 8 full. A tall task to do in any game, as this one is shot over to short. The throw over to first is in time.
Looking like he's going to pull it off.
This will bring out the right fielder, number 2, Kyle Cronk. He struck out twice so far.
At 91 pitches, though, he will not go the distance.
Here is the pitch. This one a high chopper over towards first. Ate up the first baseman to throw over to first, and that will end the outing on an absolutely fantastic outing from Zach Began. One of the finer outings you will ever see from a pitcher in the FCBL. A 1-2-3 inning. Down go the Suns. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We head now to the top of the 9th. And it is 3-0. Navigators lead the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network, presented by Cranwell Spa and Golf Resort.
Hi, we're talking to real smokers about quitting. Tell me when you smoke and why you smoke.
Eat, cigarette, kids, cigarette, dinner, another cigarette.
One on my way to lunch, one after lunch.
And another cigarette, and another cigarette.
Have you tried to quit?
Yes. I become angry.
It ain't that easy. You can't just quit cold turkey. I tried.
What would you do different?
Actually having a plan and thinking it through.
You have to relearn how to live your life without a cigarette in your hand.
With the right plan, you can quit smoking. Free at becomeanx.org. X, a new way to think about quitting. Brought to you by X and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared in the event of a disaster? I'm Jim Cantori, reminding you that the best way to make your family safer is to be prepared before disaster strikes. First, build a disaster supply kit with enough supplies for each family member for at least 3 days. Next, make a family communication or evacuation plan. Finally, stay informed. Listen to local radio and TV reports when disasters are imminent. For more information on how you can be Red Cross ready, contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit redcross.org.
You suffer from the heartbreak of brain rot, feeling bored, sluggish, listless, not had a new idea in days, using electronic gizmos without a clue why they work. Now there's help. Ham radio, guaranteed to stimulate your corroding neurons and open a whole new world of excitement. To learn more about ham radio, go to helloradio.org.
Side effects of ham radio usage include mental stimulation, desire for education, new career paths, understanding of technology, and cases of addiction have been reported. If you experience any of these symptoms, you're welcome.
Ham radio. It's not your granddaddy's radio anymore.
It'll be the top of the 9th, at the bottom of the order for the North Shore Navigators. 0 for 2 with both ways of strikeout is Sutherland. He was also hit by a pitch. Resides now in left field, as this one, speaking of left, shoots it out to left field. 1 pitch, 1 gone. Now the starting left fielder, now shortstop, Andrew Olzak, will dig in. He is currently 0 for 3 with a double play. In the second, a fly out to right in the 5th. Strikeout swing his last time up in the 7th. The pitch. High fly ball going to right. And let's see. It will be a base hit. The right fielder there, Cronk, lost it. A throw to second will not be in time. Not sure what Cronk was doing there. He was charging toward it. Must have thought it was foul, but that one's going to go down as a 1-out double.
Napping over there in right field. In that type of game, I suppose.
First baseman number 32, Mitchell Lundholm, and speaking of doubles, he has one himself. He's 1 for 3 with a stolen base. Runner on second, one gone. Here's the pitch. This one lifted. Third base foul territory. Kalumovic will make the grab as Todd Alford got out of the way. Now 2-man gone brings up the top of the order in Sal Freelich. Here's the pitch. As that one, it hit the plate, and it goes behind home plate. It was going to result in a wild pitch. Advancing to third is going to be Olzak.
Well, never since the term bounced off the plate.
So the count is 1-0 to Sal Freelich. 2-man gone. Top of the ninth. 3-0 Navigators. Pitch. That one runs low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Rather, no strikes. This one, a hot shot going into right, and it will drop down for a base hit in front of Kronk. And an RBI single for Sal Freelich makes it now 4-0.
Well hit ball for some insurance here in the top of the ninth. And all Navigators pretty much all game long.
Well, it really was all pitching for the first part for the Navigators. And now, of course, their pitching has lasted throughout the ball game. Now their offense is getting charged up here in the later innings. Here's J.P. Knight. Swings in, fouls this one off. The runner goes. The 0-1 is high, hit in the air towards short. Hughes can't find it. No one can find it. Drops into center. A throw to second, not in time. It's the second time it's happened in this inning. They can't find it in the air, and they lose it in the sky.
Something wrong with the lighting or something? Seeing Hughes kind of like cowering at it, putting his hands over his head or something.
So the run will score an RBI double by J.P. Knight, scoring Freelich. And now it is 5-0.
Not particularly impressive. Of course, that obviously won't go down as an error, but well, about as big a mental error, biggest set of mental errors rather, as you could possibly have between Kronk and then Hughes.
Freelich went from first to home on that play, on a pop-up. Pitch hits the outside corner for Varinos. Count is 0-1. Now the 0-1. This one is low. Count now 1 ball, 1 strike.
Been a fairly long and unimpressive game from the Suns as a whole. The defense really letting the team down here at the top of the ninth, and the offense kind of just forgot to show up today.
That one fouled back. Count is 1-2. I wouldn't say the offense didn't show up. I'd say they've just been overpowered by Zach Began. Again, 11-11 strikeouts on the ball game. Only giving up 3 hits. He only walked one batter. He struck out 11 batters in 8 full innings. One of the more impressive outings you will see in the FCBL. Here's the 1-2. A slow chopper towards home. Grabbing this one is Towley. A throw over to first is in time. That will end the inning, and the Suns go to the bottom of the ninth, trailing by 5. It is 5-0. The Navigators lead it. There will be a new pitcher in the ball game, and we head to the bottom of the ninth.
Looks like it's going to be Garrett Keogh coming in.
You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network, presented by Cranwell Spawn Golf Resort.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries, protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America.
Were you born ready to protect America? Learn more at gocoastguard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you prepared in the event of a disaster? I'm Jim Cantori, reminding you that the best way to make your family safer is to be prepared before disaster strikes. First, build a disaster supply kit with enough supplies for each family member for at least 3 days. Next, make a family communication or evacuation plan. Finally, stay informed. Listen to local radio and TV reports when disasters are imminent. For more information on how you can be Red Cross ready, contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit redcross.org.
New pitcher in the ballgame to finish this one off for the North Shore Navigators. That is Garrett Keogh, the All-Star. 3 starts, 9 overall appearances, pitching 22 innings. Not particularly impressive numbers, giving up 19 hits, 18 runs, 15 earned, walking 26 to 14 strikeouts. A 3-3 record with a 6.13 ERA. That will put the bow on pitcher Zach Began's line. Stellar outing, pitching 8 innings, facing 27 batters, no runs, 3 hits, a double, walking 1 with 11 strikeouts on 92 pitches. Obviously in line for the win and clearly going to be receiving a quality start. The combination of excellent pitching against a lifeless offense doing him wonders as he covers 8 magnificent innings for the North Shore Navigators.
I don't think there's any way in the world that he is not going to be named pitcher of the night in the FCBL. So we begin the bottom of the ninth with the top of the order. Alexander White will dig in, trying to get at least a base hit here today. So Keogh from the stretch in a non-safe situation fires the first pitch. It's 1-1 hopper to the shortstop. Great grab. Throw it to first in time. Great snare there from Olzak.
Great day defensively for the North Shore Navigators. 2 outs away from a complete team shutout, which will elude the Nashville Silver Knights in terms of dropping the standings.
Here's the shortstop, number 30, Thomas Hughes. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Here's the pitch. That one's in there, called strike. 0-1 here from Keogh. Curveball over Hughes' head. And now a timeout, and the catcher's going to go talk here with the pitcher. A lengthy conversation here. Keogh has a 1-1 count with one man gone. Comfortable 5-run lead here in the fifth as this one's fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 man gone. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Navigators. No runs, 3 hits, 3 errors for the Suns. The 1-2. Well, that one's a 55-footer, and the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Keogh has a sign, and the 2-2. Another 55-footer bounces in, and now it's full at 3-2.
Knocked it on top of Martha's Vineyard 4-3. Worcester leading Nashua 2-1.
Payoff. That one's high, and Hughes is going to take a walk. Now here is Patrick Sullivan. Speaking of walks, his last time up, he did exactly that. He's 0 for 2 today thus far. And the first pitch is swung on, fouled off third base side. The count here is 0-1. Hughes on first. Sullivan at home plate. Matthews on deck. Should the game not end with this plate appearance from Sullivan. Here's the 0-1. Fastball well outside. That's going to get away from the catcher. Off the end of his glove because this one was well outside. And that will bring a wild pitch. Hughes moves to second.
Forget about the game-ending double play at the moment, barring a conventional thing involving a flyout.
Yeah, flyout, throw him out, double play. Definitely don't want that. Sullivan will dig in as with the sign is Keogh. Long stare at Hughes. Now the pitch. And once fouled back again. Scare some spectators downstairs, and now it is 1 ball and 2 strikes. From the stretch is Keogh. Going to check on second and a long stare at Hughes. Another look over and glance. Now the 1-2. This is outside. So here's a 2-2. Moves high, and now it's full 3-2.
Plenty of pitches here in the 9th inning. Looking to just try to get some work in and finish the game off.
All right, but unfortunately right now, in order for you to do that, you can't just have a 1-pitch, 1-gone situation and that be it. You still got to collect 2 more outs here. Here's the payoff. Blowing outside, and that's another walk to Sullivan and another walk this inning. Brings up the center fielder, number 20, Dave Matthews now.
More walks in 1 inning than Vegan threw in all of 8, an 8-inning game.
Matthews from the left-hand side. Does not want a ground ball. From the stretch is Keogh. Again, he'll check at second at Hughes and the pitch. That one's in there. A called strike. Count is 0-1. Matthews is 1 for 3 on the day. He was caught stealing. He struck out twice, both ways of the K. From the stretch. And the 1-0. High fly ball down the left field line, but well foul. But a well hit ball. He definitely knows he's got the contact. This one, I think, did not go out of the ballpark, so that's going to be a souvenir for a kid out there. So now no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2. Outside, and now it's 1-2. Matthews trying to stay in there, at least get some sort of spark, albeit late. Still trying to get a spark. Check on second, 1-2. Ooh, that one a generous non-call. That one looked good on the outside corner.
Indeed.
But ruled a ball. Keogh, now the 2-2. Swung on yet again, fouled up, and continuing to battle here is Matthews. Keogh, the 2-2 again. In the dirt, gets away from the catcher, and both runners will advance. And now the count is full.
Once again, the count is full, a third straight batter.
Now runners on second and third, and this ballgame is late as it is. There's no way they're going to intentionally pass them now. There's only 1 pitch left. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 man gone, and the payoff is low and in, and that one's going to walk Matthews and load the bases.
He might do it for Keogh as well, or perhaps just a meeting on the mound.
I think it is just a meeting on the mound. I don't see anyone warming up in the pen, and I haven't all inning.
Hey, we should change that.
Second baseman Ivan Nunez is going to dig in, and it looks like Patrick Sullivan is going to come out of the ballgame. He's going to be replaced by Nolan Cloutier, a speedy pinch runner. Now, looks like, nope, no activity yet. Big moment here for Nunez. It's 5-0. Bases are loaded with only 1 gone. The Suns crowd is going to get behind Nunez here. And you'll expect him, as always, to crowd the inside part of the plate. Keogh, with the bases loaded, here's the first pitch. That one inside and low, now 1-0.
Where to put him here? And they go right after him.
From the stretch, Keogh again, now the 1-0. Hot shot, pass the third baseman in left field for a base hit. They're going to round 1 runner, now 2, and that is a 2 RBI single by Ivan Nunez, who's been the kryptonite of North Shore pitching here today. And now there is a catcher sprinting to the bullpen, and they're going to get someone warm, and they got to get someone warm quick because the tying run is at home plate, and that is Peter Merritt.
About the team shutout now.
Nunez, 3 of 4 hits for the Suns total collectively today. So here's Marin with runners on first and second. 1 man gone. New life. Here's the pitch. In there for a cold strike. 0-1 is the count here to Marin.
The Navigators need this game as well.
They really do. They're getting someone warmed up in the pen, and they're moving quickly down there. Check on second, the 0-1. Hot shot foul, first base side. Count is now 0-2. Danny Ryan warming up in the pen as the 0-2. On the outside corner, called strike 3. And now it's all up to third baseman number 1, Jack Kalumovic.
Disappointing appearance from Peter Marin right there.
Just needed to protect, and he didn't do it.
Everything hinges on the shoulders of Kalumovic.
Five to 2, Navigators lead it. The tying run represented by Jack Kalumovic. 2 men gone in the bottom of the ninth. The first pitch is high for a ball, 1-0. This ball game that initially thought was all but pretty much over. Now some new life in here. Back-to-back-to-back walks. Loads the bases for Hugh Sullivan and Matthews. Nunez with a 2 RBI single. As a pitch that does hit the outside corner.
Wonder how much more of a leash Keogh's going to get. It might not matter if he, of course, it wouldn't matter if he picked up this out here, but you let Kalumovic on, you yank him then, or you let him continue.
I think if another run comes in, I can't say I'm a manager, but if another run comes in, I think you have to play it safe. A 1-1. Cut on and miss for strike 2. Now the Suns are down to their final strike. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 men gone. Runners on first and second. Matthews on second. Nunez on first. Kalumovic represents the game tying run in the bottom of the ninth. Keogh checks second. A 1-2. Just misses the outside corner. Very close pitch. Very dangerous take.
Don't want to end the game on a called strike 3.
Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men gone, 2 men on. Keogh with a 2-2. That one fouled off, and we will continue with a 2-2 set. So Kalumovic, again, he's 0 for 3. What a big time would it be for the third baseman to get his first hit?
Probably bringing at least a run, depending on where it was hit to.
So the Speedy Matthews on second, yes, all depending. If it's in the outfield, I can't fathom that he wouldn't score. Keogh, 2-2. Upstairs, and now it gets even more interesting. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men gone. Matthews will be off with a pitch. Nunez will be off with a pitch. Kalumovic has a big pitch upcoming.
So does Keogh, quite frankly.
Keogh from the stretch. Here's a payoff. Inside, and that walks him. The winning run is going to come to the plate. And that is going to do it for Keogh. They're going to bring in Danny Ryan. They are not even going to try.
4 walks in 1 inning. Yeah, that had better do it for him.
You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Billy Madewell and Joe Belargent at Paul Outfield at historic Wacona Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. And continuing this, it is 5-2 here in the bottom of the ninth. 2 men gone, bases are loaded, and Nunez is going to be taken out of the ball game, and Vicente Mendoza is going to pinch run here. Keogh just could not go the distance and finish it off. And now, with a 5-0 lead in the bottom of the ninth, it's 5-2. The tying run is on first, and the game-winning run is at the plate. And now coming in for a save situation is number 11, Danny Ryan.
Got Ryan in on the year. Trying to pick up the save for the Navigators, and not the best numbers to back this up. 9 appearances, a start, 15 and a third, hurled, 19 hits allowed, 16 runs, 15 earned, walking 14 and 9 strikeouts, 0-2 on the year. addition to an 8.80 ERA. All he has to do is pick up one out.
Looking at Danny Ryan. As you said, Andrew, he's 0 for 2 and no saves on the season. Now coming in for a 1. That being a situation, that is. All right. So time will resume and play will resume. On third base is Matthews. On second is the pinch runner Vicente Mendoza. And on first, Jack Kolumovic. Kolumovic represents the game-tying run. Taylor Mier represents the game-winning run. They say, Andrew, better late than never.
Indeed. We just hope that the late kicks in at this point.
First pitch is taken inside. Count is 0-1 to the lefty in the air. Ryan sets, and the 0-1 is swung on, fouled off. And now the Suns are down to their final strike for the second time. Ryan sets from the stretch. Pitch. Swung on, fouled off. Great defensive swing. And count now is 0-2. Really could have done nothing with the pitch there.
Good to just foul it off.
Ryan sets. The 0-2. Hits him. That'll bring in a run. The tying run is in scoring position.
Good one for the team. Winning run on base as well.
The Suns have batted around in the ninth. And a pinch runner, Chad Shade, is going to represent the tying run. Shade is going to come in for Kolumovic. A hit in the outfield will tie up the ball game with a speedy Shade on second. 5-3 with the bases loaded. Kyle Cronk digs in. Danny Ryan with the first pitch. Swung on up the middle. That's a base hit. It's going to go into center field. Shade's going to come around, and he's going to score easily. And the Suns come all the way back. It is 5-5.
Can you imagine how Beacon feels right now after they absolutely just imploded?
The Suns rally all the way back, down 5, with 1 gone in the bottom of the ninth, grab 5 runs, and tie up the ball game.
Opportunity now to win it with a runner in scoring position. Absolute meltdown from the Navigators.
Clutch hitting, thy name is Pittsfield Suns.
Might be Alexander White right here.
It is 5-5. The game-winning run is at second. A big swing and miss there from White. Danny Ryan with a blown save, trying to at least hold it for the 10th. The 0-1. That one fouled off.
Only 2 strike counts this inning, but doesn't seem to matter. The offense coming to life here. But again, of course, Zach Began getting a no decision in what may be the best outing from any pitcher we've seen this season. That much is borderline tragic.
The 0-2 outside. They set him up. He does not chase. Great eye there from White.
Base hit could end the ball game.
From the stretch is Ryan. The 1-2. Outside. Ooh, close pitch.
Close indeed. Steely resolve at the plate.
Mier on second represents the game-winning run. Kyle Cronk on first. The 2-2. Outside again. No, they call it strike three!
Ooh. Same place that got called ball 2 gets called strike 3. Ouch.
The Suns nonetheless tie up the ball game. And ladies and gentlemen, it is an all-new ball game. We head to extras.
Free baseball.
Top of the 10th we go. 5-5. We'll be right back with more Pittsfield Suns baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network, presented by Cranwell Spawn Golf Resort.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries, protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America.
Were you born ready to protect America? Learn more at gocoastguard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association and this station.
Give yourself the gift of a comfortable retirement by setting some cash aside for yourself. Saving a little of your monthly income can be as affordable as the average holiday gift. If retirement is near, you'll want to start saving right away. If you're younger, begin saving now, and compound interest will help your retirement funds snowball. A great way to figure out how much you'll need to save for retirement is to learn how much you'll get from Social Security. Do that in minutes at www.socialsecurity.gov/estimator.
Hi, we're talking to real smokers about quitting. Tell me when you smoke and why you smoke.
Eat, cigarette, kids, cigarette, dinner, another cigarette.
One on my way to lunch, one after lunch.
And another cigarette, and another cigarette.
Have you tried to quit?
Yes. I become angry.
It ain't that easy. You can't just quit cold turkey. I tried.
What would you do different?
Actually having a plan and thinking it through.
You have to relearn how to live your life without a cigarette in your hand.
With the right plan, you can quit smoking. Free at becomeanx.org. X, a new way to think about quitting. Brought to you by X and the Ad Council.
The following commercial is sponsored by feedthepig.org, an organization devoted to helping you save money. We will not entice you with messages like
lowest prices in town, dealer approved, certified pre-owned.
Nor will we brag about our
huge selection, enormous variety.
We will offer no contingencies like
see store for details. Legal exclusions apply.
Because we simply want to help you spend smarter and save better. Log on to feedthepig.org. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
New pitch in the ball game for a revitalized Suns team that is going to be Thomas Hughes going from the infield and now heading to the mound. 7 appearances out of the pen, pitching 10 innings, yielding 7 hits, an unearned run, striking out 10 with a 2-0 record. The man for the job to try to send things to the bottom of the 10th for the team to walk him off.
There's a bunch of changes here. I'll get to in just a second. Number 12, the second baseman, Spencer Brown. This is his
we get a
second time up. The sidearmer with a pitch outside. Count here is 1-0. Next pitch runs well in this time, and now it's 2-0. Oh, big cut and miss there from Brown. Here's a 2-1, lifted into center field. This new center fielder, Shade, is going to get in there for out number 1.
Has a curve off the bat and that allowed Shade to reach it. Otherwise, it could have done some damage.
Now the catcher, number 44, Dominic Keegan, will dig in. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI and a walk. So a man gone in the top of the 10th. Got to get to these defensive replacements here because, wow, it's wacky. Pitch hits the outside corner. Fantastic pitch there from Hughes. Pitch, that one runs outside. Pitch inside, nearly hits the corner. Pitch, that one's in there for a called strike. Two-two. Swung on a miss for strike 3.
Hughes doing Hughes things, nearly impeccable out of the bullpen so far this year.
Which is pretty weird to say that. Normally we say out of the bullpen, Andrew, but it's really off the field and then out of the pitcher's mound. Here's Harrison Engstrom. He is 0 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. First pitch. That one runs low for a ball. Count is 1-0.
Love that sidearmer action, too.
A lot of deceptive movement there from Hughes. 1-0. Fly ball, popped up, first base side. The catcher in the air. Going to be called up by the pitcher, Hughes. And listen to that crowd roar.
I love how Hughes called him up to do that himself. I don't know, I just like that for some reason. It looks like he's actually going to be coming up to bat, so, you know, he could get the win in more than one way.
That's very true. We head to the bottom of the 10th with the Suns trying to walk him off. Otherwise, we are going to the home run derby. In the inning, it is a perfect one. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. New pitcher in the ball game for the Navigators. We'll be right back with more Pittsfield Suns baseball in the bottom of the 10th, tied up at 5 apiece. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network, presented by Cranwell Spa and Golf Resort.
Did you know that every 2 seconds someone in America needs blood? Dr. Phil here, and I'd like to encourage you to donate blood through the American Red Cross. If you've never given before, now's a great time to start. If you've given before, do it again. It only takes about an hour, and your donation could make a life-saving difference. So contact the American Red Cross today. To make an appointment, call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE or visit givelife.org today. Thank you.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
New pitcher in the ballgame to try to force a home run derby. Well, with the Suns bringing up a guy with a 0 ERA, the Navigators counter somehow with one of their own in Sean Thompson. Thompson, 2 appearances out of the pen, 2 1/3, giving up 5 hits, 3 unearned runs with 3 walks and a strikeout for a 0 ERA. And, well, that will mercifully do it for the Navigators bullpen, which all but responsible for them not having one in regulation. As Danny Ryan, the combination of Danny Ryan and Garrett Keogh covering that awful 9th inning, facing 10 batters combined. Garrett Keogh responsible for all 5 earned runs, both of them giving up a hit apiece, with Keogh walking 4. Keogh throwing 3 wild pitches, striking out 2 combined. Just an awful 9th inning. That is the reason why we are in the 10th inning to begin with.
So it will be Hughes, McHale, Matthews.
And again, Billy, Zach Vegan, no matter how this game turns out, getting the no decision after 8 super amazing innings.
And a tough luck no decision at that.
The toughest of tough luck no decisions.
Here's the pitch. Oh, that one's a little high and away.
And I think
only slightly.
Well, of course, I certainly have no problem with FCBL regulations, Billy, but were it not for those regulations, pretty sure Vegan could have gone the distance.
Pitch is in there, called strike, and for some odd reason, I'm not able to score this inning. Pitch, shot into right center field, but the right fielder is right there, that being Knight, to collect the out. Saying something home run derby rules. Well, I got no idea what that is, but that was a ball. Called strike. Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
I'm going to have to go through this. That's fine.
Oh, boy, I can see that.
This one, pitch runs upstairs for a ball.
How about offline scoring on my end? I could cover 30 innings with this thing.
I think you're going to have to. Pitch.
Right.
That one's in there for a called strike. Pitch. Well, that one's going to bounce in. That one runs high. Now it's 3-1. I'm going to crash my system here in a second. Look at this. Pitch outside and high. The winning run is aboard. Brian McHale will be on first base. That is his first at bat and plate appearance, that is. This will bring up Dave Matthews.
Anything other than a ground ball. That said, anything other than a ground ball or a strikeout probably win the game. Matthews can really hit.
Pitch hits the outside corner. Next pitch bounces away, nearly comes up here. The winning run is on second base.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay, then that I don't even know how that bounced up so high.
Got in the dirt off the wrist.
Jeez.
Now it's a 1-1 count with one man gone.
Now a base hit at this rate would pretty much definitely end the game, barring something in the infield.
Thompson, the 1-1. That one taken high and in, and yet it's called a strike.
That one was a rough one.
Matthews is going to have to shake it off here.
Indeed he is.
The 1-2 is fouled off. It's a 1-2 count from Thompson. The 1-2 swung on, fouled off. Third base side. One and two the count. One man gone. Winning run is on second. Check on second. And the 1-2. Nearly hit him.
Oof. And let me check. Yeah, that one was a called ball.
2 balls, 2 strikes, a man gone. The winning run is on second base. That being Brian McHale. The pitch cut on and missed for strike 3. It's fouled off.
Oh, what a...
No, it's fouled up. The catcher dropped it.
Oh, wow. Okay, a new leaf on life. That was a horrible swing from Matthews, and I was thinking, like, oh, it was just going to be caught. But
He
wow.
had just dropped it.
As I like to say it, a bit of a green mushroom for Matthews down there. Lucky to be staying alive.
Here again, the 2-2. Cut out and miss for strike 3. This one is caught by Keegan, and that will end Matthews' at plate appearance. And now everyone cheering for home plate umpire Brian Berry brushing off the plate. And here's Mr. Walkoff himself, Drew DiMartino.
Looking at the all-star Demo, 293 average, 2 homers, 18 RBI, and 19th would be spectacular 8 walks to 19 strikeouts.
Pitch misses outside and 1-0.
19th, Billy, in this juncture. Oh, boy. That would rock the place.
The 1-0. That one's high. Now 2-0. The 2-0, well high and outside. And now it is 3-0.
Pitching him carefully is understandable, but I don't think that's why he's at 3-0 right now. I think he just can't hit the strike zone.
Here's a 3-0, taken the whole way for obvious reasons. Now 3-1. 3-1. Taken low and in. That's going to walk him. Really, the only thing that does is set up a force at any base. This will bring up Peter Marin. Should the ball game not end and the bases are loaded with 2 men gone, it looks like Dylan Faircloth will pinch hit, but the first pitch is in there, a called strike. The 0-1, high fly ball down the right field line. Is it fair or foul? It is foul, and it is out of play off the top of the fence of all places. And that'll be a foul ball.
It's like flipping a coin and having it land on its side.
And now the Suns are down to their final strike. And if they cannot collect the winning run, we are going to the home run derby. The lefty Thompson with the 0-2. Time is called by Marin.
First good call you made, Blue.
Here's the 0-2. Runners go, but it's cut out and missed. And ladies and gentlemen, we are headed to the home run derby.
Anticlimactic ending. There you go.
So this will be very interesting, and this is the second home run derby we have partook in at Wakota Park this season. So we now head to the 11th in the home run derby format.
Last one was a bit of a wash, but no one in particular, except maybe Sal Freelick, really intimidates, and you can expect Freelick to be the first man up for the Navigators at this point.
They're going to figure things out, getting the T-screen, getting the fielders out there as well.
I wonder who the Suns will put up. Probably Dave Matthews, perhaps?
Looks like Gage Feeney is going to be pitching.
A moment there, Billy. I thought you were going to say hitting.
No. So that being said, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have the lineups for the home run derby between the Pittsfield Suns and the North Shore Navigators. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network, presented by Cranwell Spa and Golf Resort.
They're your friends. They're your neighbors. They're even famous entertainers. They're teachers.
Okay, class, settle down. Open your book.
They're scientists and astronauts. They're hams. They're 650,000 strong, and they're just like you. Earning your amateur radio license is easy. Just contact the American Radio Relay League at 1-800-326-3942.
You suffer from the heartbreak of brain rot, feeling bored, sluggish, listless, not had a new idea in days, using electronic gizmos without a clue why they work. Now there's help. Ham radio, guaranteed to stimulate your corroding neurons and open a whole new world of excitement. To learn more about ham radio, go to helloradio.org.
Side effects of ham radio usage include mental stimulation, desire for education, new career paths, understanding of technology, and cases of addiction have been reported. If you experience any of these symptoms, you're welcome.
Ham radio. It's not your granddaddy's radio anymore.
The following commercial is sponsored by feedthepig.org, an organization devoted to helping you save money. We will not entice you with messages like
lowest prices in town, dealer approved, certified pre-owned.
Nor will we brag about our
Huge selection, enormous variety.
We will offer no contingencies like
See store for details. Legal exclusions apply.
because we simply want to help you spend smarter and save better. Log on to feedthepig.org. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Home safety is a family effort. Being safe and sound should be everyone's priority. In times like these, theft and violence can strike anywhere. Protect your family. Keep your home well lighted and always lock doors and windows. Installing alarms adds an extra level of protection. Never leave valuables in plain sight. To learn more about protecting your home and family, visit ncpc.org or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
We head to the Home Run Derby, which is the 11th inning. For this, it comes with the following format. It is a 3-minute time limit for the first round. Of that, there are 3 batters that can switch in and out at any time. In the 3 minutes, there's going to be 2 30-second timeouts going to be allotted at any time, provided by the umpires. For this, those 3 batters can be anyone on the Suns team of any player who has active at the beginning of the ball game and is not thrown out of the ball game. So you're looking at skipper Matt Gedman. No, he will not partake in the Home Run Derby for pitching or substitutions or anything of the sort such as that. It is going to be dual managers, Chris Barbarata and Brandon Shalikas. And for this, again, it's whoever has the most homers out of the 3 combined batters in the first round wins it. Should that be tied, we go to a second round. It'll be 2 batters and 1 timeout going to be allotted. And if the second round is tied, we go to a sudden death, 1 minute, 1 batter. And for out of all of that, if that is tied, this game will be marked as a tie.
Imagine the Navigators will put Freelick up, if not first, which I would be surprised at some point during the Derby. For the Suns, Dave Matthews, Nunez, maybe even Patrick Sullivan, along those lines in all likelihood.
Kalumovic would more than likely be up. In the Home Run Derby last time, he was the only batter to get any homers.
Well, that certainly bodes well in his case for getting the nod here tonight.
But I believe it will at least be Kalumovic and Sullivan. I'm not entirely sure who else it will be.
I would think Matthews or Nunez. But I suppose we'll see.
Nunez has a bat. Kalumovic has a bat. Well, we need 3 here. Let's see who else out. Nunez has a bat. I think you're right, Andrew.
He also did hit a double in live action today. Up until that 9th inning, he was the only one who really showed signs of life at the plate. And then, well, the only thing that could stink up the game at a more of a rate than the Suns' offense came into play, the Navigators' bullpen, which was quite frankly awful in that 9th inning, but recuperated and pitched a respectable 10th to at least allow a home run derby to take place. Not much, of course, but better than outright losing the game.
I think right now just the umpires are converging on how this one's going to be ruled. Bases umpire Anthony Ensoro is going to rule if it's gone. And Brian Berry going to rule if this one is fair or foul. So again, they're just going over the rules once more. It will be a 3-minute time limit with 2 30-second timeouts. And it looks like the Suns will bring up Kolumovic, Nunez, and Sullivan. And for the visiting team, I believe that's J.P. Knight, Dominic Keegan, and I believe Freelich is also going to be joining the fray. Yes, he is.
I mean, that's kind of an obvious call at that rate with Freelich having 7 homers on the season.
And that leads the league, but again, this league has not been a power-hitting league.
No kidding. Well, Freelich standing out as one of the minority, and who better to lean on in a situation like this?
Freelich, it looks like, will go up first.
And meanwhile, as we probably have another way to do it, I will be trying to follow the time left on each respective hitter's time left at the plate with my own cell phone.
Thank God for timers. Otherwise, we'd have no idea how long this one's going to go.
Short of someone down there keeping track, Billy, you're correct. 3 minutes. Boy, that's going to seem like forever, I imagine, given the nature of this ball game.
So Freelich is going to lead things off. So when the first pitch is caught or hit, that is when the timer will start. Umpires making sure everything's all set. We say play ball. Or play home run derby, that is. First pitch, that one's foul. That one a hard shot on a line drive to right.
Probably would have been a hard line out.
This one, no, that one's a foul ball the whole way.
You could hear it make contact with the wall.
This one, no, that would have been a ground out to second, if not a one-hopper, that is. This one, a hard hit ball out to right, but that one's not going to have enough carry. That one's going to 2-hop to the wall, not even to the wall. That one a hard shot, but that one's foul.
In cricket, that would have counted, but not in baseball.
That one open-ended swing, but that one is going to fall short. That one a high fly ball.
Foul, though. Even so.
Oh, just in front of the wall.
Oh, not foul, but just right in front of the wall.
And on the hands here. That one a hard hit to right center. That one a grounder. Freelich not having really any success here thus far.
He's got 2 minutes.
They're going to call timeout.
1 minute, 53 seconds to go.
So Freelich has 0. And now I believe this is that J.P. Knight? No, that is Dominic Keegan.
Freelich couldn't get it done, then they might be in some trouble. Then again, it is Wacona Park. That tends to really happen in this
Yeah,
place.
it is a pitcher's ballpark, really is. That one's a hard hit, deep ball to center. Is that one gone? It is gone. There is one for Keegan.
Well, there you go.
That one a fly out easy.
We got one, though.
That one a deep drive to left. Is that one gone? Let's see. Yes, it is. That's gone. Number 2 for Keegan. Driven to right center, the deepest part of the ballpark. I don't think that one has a chance. And it one-hops to the wall. High fly ball. This one I don't think is deep enough.
No, doesn't have the carry.
No, not at all. This one a deep drive to center. It's got a chance going further back. And let's see. Gone. That is number 3 for Keegan already. This one a deep ball to left, but that one's an out.
Keegan really saving the day for the Navigators.
I want to fly out, would have gone to center.
1 minute.
Timeout.
They don't rule timeout yet. That one's a line ball, but that one's going to go foul. Deep drive to center, right center at Kerr, so that one's not going to go. This one well in. Deep drive to center. This one a harder shot. And that one is gone.
Yep.
4 for Keegan. Deep drive to left center. And let's see, this one is absolutely crushed. And that one's well over the manual scoreboard.
30 seconds.
5 now for Keegan.
Running out of time, but he's certainly done plenty of damage.
That one a hard hit ball line out.
This is going to be tough for the Suns to match.
That one a pop up. They're going to time. And how much time? Only about 13 seconds left.
13 seconds on the nose.
The Suns will need 5. They still have about 13 seconds left.
Should have about 13 seconds. Okay, it looked like, I don't know.
They're going to keep Keegan out there. Unfortunately, JP Knight said, you know what, you're having so much success, you go out there, we trust you.
He's got 2, maybe 3 more shots.
Now on a high fly.
9 seconds.
All right. No, that is it. That's time called for the timer. So 5 for Keegan, and the Suns have to match that.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
So 5 total homers, all for Keegan. I have to put this in the comment section here for this as we take a quick timer. But Andrew, what are your thoughts there on the home run derby for the visiting half?
Well, as far as it goes, for five homers is a seriously high bar for the Suns team that has been, well, we have a lot of contact hitters, but as we've said multiple times, Billy, no standout power guys. Kalumovic hasn't hit a single homer all season long, and he's being leaned on because he managed to hit one last time we were here. I got to think that it's going to be tough to match that number 5. The Navigators are sitting pretty right now. Tell you what, Billy, we are not giving any winning or losing decisions, of course, obviously, but if we were, I would think that Keegan would be getting the winning decision today. Assuming, of course, that the 5 homer stands.
So Kalumovic will dig in. They're going to throw in some balls here. We're going to wait. They got a bunch of balls there. They're going to call time here just so they can get all the balls in here. So starting here is going to be Kalumovic, who needs to get 5 along with Nunez and Sullivan. Collectively, they need 5 to go to the second round, 6 to win it. And time will start now. I want a grounder to first to Kalumovic. Now on a harder hit shot over into right. To second base here. Deep drive to right. That one's got a chance. And let's see. That one is long gone. Number 1 for Kalumovic. A blast to right, but that one a line out. That one a deep drive to right center. I'm not sure if that one's got the carry. Let's see. So. No, it does not.
Oh, wow. That skipped off the wall.
Deep drive to right. Is that one gone? Yes, it is. Not. Off the wall. Only 1.
Oh, that's tough.
This one fouled back to us. Deep drive to right. Fair or foul?
Fair.
That one's fair. That one is gone off the back wall.
Destroyed.
Number 2 for Kalumovic.
Kalumovic putting a little more fight in the Suns right now. We thought 5 would be tough to meet, but well,
that one a deep drive to center, but that one's deep right center.
Okay, it doesn't have the carry.
They're going to hold off here as that one was fouled off. That one also.
Not over yet.
Deep drive to right.
Doesn't have the carry.
I'm not sure if that one does have the carry. Let's see. No, that one's short. Time is called. Great job from Kalumovic.
They're going to do it for him?
I believe that is.
Hey, oh, wow, I'm surprised. I don't think
going to bring up Nunez here.
I don't think they I'm a little surprised that Klomovic is coming out.
Well, you're trying to get as many homers as you can because you're down by 3 with, what, a minute 44 left?
Yes, that's true. Be that as it may, though, Klomovic has hit 2, and he's the only member of the Suns currently to ever hit a homer this year in a home run derby. So,
pitch. That one runs out as time has resumed. This one a high pop-up.
Clearly no chance at that one.
No. That one a high fly ball.
Doesn't have the carry.
That one down the left field line. Is that fair or
Fair.
foul?
It's fair. I think it's
Is it gone? No.
Oh.
Short.
So
pitch
close.
runs in. Deep drive to center. Over the head. Is that one carried enough?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Number 3. One for Nunez. As that one has popped up. Almost a minute left here.
1 minute on the nose now.
Deep drive to left center. I don't think that one's going to have the carry.
No. Little short.
Down the left field line. Fair foul.
Fair.
It is off the wall.
Doesn't matter.
Time is called. And that'll be timeout number 2. Nunez has 1. They're going to call a timeout, and Sullivan here needs 2.
44 seconds to pick up 2. Looks like right now the Suns are shooting for a tie. 3 and 44 seconds would be tough, so 2 is, of course, the number to meet.
Time resumes. That one a hard drive down the right field line. That one not there. Pitch. That one ran in on the hands.
Maybe in cricket that would count. Never mind.
That would have been easily caught.
Yes.
Pitch is outside.
1-0.
That one right back to the pitcher. Stay in. Pitch is outside here. Again, it's right there to the pitcher. They got to get some balls going here. Only about 10 seconds left.
Yeah.
Deep drive to center.
I don't think it's looking good.
Deep drive to right center. And let's see, is that one going? That one, no, not good. As that one is popped up. No, that's it. That's time. And that's the game. It is 5-3. The North Shore Navigators win it by a score of 5-3 in the home run derby after this ball game was tied 5 apiece. So that will do it. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network with the Pittsfield Suns postgame show.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
Welcome to the Pittsfield Suns post-game show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. And now, back to Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park in Pittsfield with your hosts, Billy Madewell and Andrew Belargent.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pittsfield Suns postgame show, heard right here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. The Suns climb back in the bottom of the ninth with one man gone to collect 5 runs as they were down by 5. But they lose to the home run derby thanks to the bat of Dominic Keegan, 5 homers in the first round, while Kalumovic had 2, Nunez had 1, and Sullivan with none.
Technically, no decisions given out here, but again, Dominic Keegan deserves the win. Of course, he's not going to get it, but he deserves it. And, well, I would like to petition to bring Jake LaBelle in to see how he fares against Dominic Keegan later down the road, because Keegan just smoked so many of them. Just very good today.
So this ball game was quite of that with a ball game, as this ball game started off really in the 6th. A couple controversial calls.
Controversial.
Ultimately, it was Joey Murphy scoring off an error after he reached on an error. A walk for Dominic Keegan. He walked in a run. Sacrifice fly by Harrison Engstrom as well. 3 in the 6th. 2 more in the 9th. RBI single and double by Sal Frelick and J.P. Knight, respectively. And for the Pittsfield Suns, all 5 of their runs came in the 9th. That being said, 3 straight walks, a 2 RBI single for not Drew DiMartino, but for Ivan Nunez. Another walk to reload the bases for Jack Kalumovic. Mier was hit by pitch, which scored a run. Then a 2 RBI single by Kyle Cronk. And then in the home run derby, Keegan had all 5 as Frelick started with 0. Kalumovic had 2, Nunez had 1, and Sullivan had 0. So ultimately, this ball game goes to the North Shore Navigators by a score of 5-5, 5-3 in the home run derby. So there will be no decisions in tonight's contest other than the blown save by Danny Ryan. With that being said, an unfortunate no decision for Zach Began, but what an outing, Andrew.
What an outing indeed. And very, 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 very tough luck on the no decision.
Now, with that being said, for the Pittsfield Suns, a fantastic job. The pitcher of the game is going to go to Brian Johnson, who was unbelievable. He picked off a runner at first. It was ruled safe. Gave up a couple runs, but he had such a dominant outing within the first 5 innings.
Yeah, he really got caught up in that mess that was that 3-run inning. Before that inning, Brian Johnson dominant, ran into a lot of trouble that inning. Thankfully, the Suns offense finally comes to life against a terrible North Shore bullpen and takes them off the hook for the loss.
And for the Pittsfield Suns player of the game, really, he was the offense all night. Ivan Nunez, the second baseman. He had himself a day. He went 3 for 4 with 2 RBI, a run scored, and a double hit. And Andrew, what are your final thoughts on tonight's contest?
Ooh, what a tough game for the Suns. The offense virtually non-existent up until that 9th when the awful offense is countered by an even worse North Shore bullpen. Really have to get things in shape. The Navigators picking up a huge win. The Suns, rough game yesterday, but they got away with it off of a Nashua offense that couldn't score, but not so fortunate today as they drop one in the home run derby today.
This ball game started at 6:38, with the home run derby carried all the way to 9:44 for a game time total of 3 hours and 6 minutes in front of a crowd of 1,714. Pittsfield Suns' next game is tomorrow. They face off against the Worcester Bravehearts, but the tail end of a home-and-home comes on Sunday. Pittsfield Suns' next game is at 5 p.m. against the Worcester Bravehearts. That is first pitch scheduled for 5 p.m., and pregame is set for 4:30. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a ball game with a home run derby, but it's ultimately the North Shore Navigators who win 5-5 and then 5-3 on the home run derby. Ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for us. Alongside Andrew Belargent for players, coaches, umpires, and fans, this is Billy Madewell saying thank you for listening and watching Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you on Sunday.
Thank you for listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Please join us next time for more exciting baseball action from Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park. This play-by-play broadcast of Pittsfield Suns Baseball was a production of the Pittsfield Suns. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the accounts and descriptions of this game without the expressed written consent of the Pittsfield Suns is strictly prohibited.